We're back at it again, fellas. Oh shit. Hold up. Hold up. Wait a minute. No, 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 no. Mama, 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 mama. Go there. Oh, you're. That didn't take long now, did it? Bro. He's like, my savior! My savior, I'm done! Homie fucking skedaddled, bro. Didn't waste any fucking time. I respect it though. Real. Pretty much. I was just so tired. Dude, the brain melting. Dude, I don't know, like Geometry Dash is just like one of those games. It's like I used to play it back in middle school. But man, like rhythm games ain't for me. And just watching you play that, I'm like, ooh, ooh, icky, yucky. And a shocker to no one, we're gonna do some War Thunder because I can't think of anything better to do, and that's what it's all about. All right, I still need to get set up here. Oh, where's Steam? It's on the other monitor. It's on the other dude. I need to get a third monitor. I need to get a third monitor so bad. Why aren't you open, Steam? There we go. You go all the way over there. I open you. This one, that one. Click that. Dude, I need like a third monitor, so like a small one, just so it like sits right off screen, just so I can see what I am exactly doing. And then we go back. There is no fuck me. There's no like easy way for me to do it. I don't have like an HDMI switcher. Not surprised coming from an Argentinian person. So hot here that my brain melts without even having to open the game. It's only 25C right now. What's that in freedom units? 25 is not that bad. I have enough Europeans in my stream to kind of know what that means. Okay, so we did that. And then, you know what? Wait a minute. Hold up. Go to this monitor again. Around 80? Oh, that's not that bad. Is there at least a breeze going, man? Need to move this. Move this. At least being able to see it would be nice. Fuck, dude. I really should just get. I really do, like, unironically need to get, like, a small monitor, like, literally just so it sits on top of the computer because this is, like. The thing is that we just left winter. It shouldn't be this hot yet. Oh, Southern Hemisphere. Fuck that. Oh, fuck that. No, thank you. Dude, I'm so ready for winter. I'm so ready. I'm so ready for winter, bro. I'm so ready for the hoodies and the fucking blankies and to be cozy and warm. Bro, like, sign my ass up. Hold up. For us, it's kind of the opposite. At least y'all have snow on winter. I'm in California, bro. I live in a desert. So, like, it doesn't snow where I am, but it gets really fucking cold. been going down to 2C constantly. You are also screwed. Nice. We kind of do that. We do that. We get fucked over by nature. I'm into it. Not really. I hate it. It's only snowed here once. I have seen snow. I have never lived in a place where it snows, though. Oh, why are you over here? You go over there. You get full screen. We do this. It's only snowed here once. I'm just like, dude. I've lived in shit before, quite cold. I haven't touched snow in like maybe 5 years. Snow is awesome. I hate the heat. I hate the heat, dude. I hate the heat because, like, here's the thing. Like, I was talking to my mom about this the other day. Is that the heat is only bearable when you have ways to deal with it. Like, you have like an industrial strength air conditioning and 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 a pool. You need both. It matters immeasurably. You need both. Uh, And there are people who are like, I love the heat. And a consequence of the heat is the fucking bugs. Miss me with the fucking bugs, dude. Quit wanking. You sound like I Watcher. Destroy ground waterborne targets with a strike aircraft. But I don't want it. What was I doing? Oh, right. Ah. Hi there, pal. I fucking despise summer, genuinely. See, summer to me lasts long enough for me to hate it, and then the second I start hating it, it rolls into winter. We only have mosquitoes, not bugs. Mosquitoes are Satan's little hell spawn. Like, like you Google like what is a mosquito good for? And they're like, oh, they pollinize. And I'm like, fuck that. Double up on the bees. Like in August 23, I just had to go to the hospital like 2 times because we literally were having a taxi because it was too hot. Yeah, Europe and lack of air conditioning is like its biggest failing. I will take winter and fall any day of the week. The consequence of 40°C weather. Now that is what we call a severe skill issue. A little fucking bit. Oh man. So okay, well, we can grind out. We'll do a little grinding. We'll do a little grinding. Fuck it. Worst part, I was in Portugal at the time. At the same. Oof. I get to feel better about what I wear. That's one way. See, I love my hoodies. I got 3 hoodies in the bag that I would really like to break out. Portugal being a little frying pan right now. I feel like if any European, even the ones who live in the hot places, came to America, like y'all would start frying. Hoodies are amazing, straight up. I like you can't tell me hoodie weather isn't better than summer. You just can't do it. You can't do it. I'm BCing the squawk right now, so if I talk less, that's why. Faux show, faux show. Tell Squawk to follow the boy. Hoodies are great. I can't wait to break them out, dude. If we ever get big enough to do merch, you better believe we're gonna get a Jorts hoodie. Dude, ever since Toomer turned me on to the Minecraft music while playing War Thunder, this has been so much nicer. The big reason why we die alive when we got to the U.S. is because Europe is way closer to the North Pole than the U.S. is. Oh yeah, I want you all to Google how hot it is in Death Valley, California. I think it set the world record for the hottest temperature on Earth. Either a year ago or 2 years ago. I think it was 135 degrees Fahrenheit. Like, like miss me with that shit, dude. 54 degrees Celsius. Right now it's 30 degrees Celsius in Death Valley. Dude, think about that. It's for me, it's 10:55 a.m. It's not even noon yet. It's not even noon yet and it's 30 degrees Celsius. And it's only going to get hotter. Currently sitting at a tight 20 degrees Celsius. Dude, we're not even in a heat wave right now. There's going to be a heat wave next week. Like, that's the shit that scares me, dude. Ah. Raising my fucking heart rate before the game even really gets going. I'm like, I'll go high so I can avoid, whatever the hell this is. I missed completely. Oh my god, I can't even use my flaps! Cold is so good because I get to excuse to wear hoodies and have 3 different blankies at once. What's considered a heat wave though? Because in Europe it has been 3 days of 25-degree weather in a row. A heat wave a heat wave where I am is going to be like anywhere from like 95, 98 degrees Fahrenheit to 105 to 107. So whatever that is in Celsius, it's hot. I think I waited too long to clip that. I need to start putting Minecraft music more often in the best of the week. So it's like it's one of the consequences though. I can't have like I have Spotify so the VOD can't hear it, but Stream can hear it. So it's better for you guys. But when I go to make clips, you won't be able to be heard, which is a real shame. That 1 meg fucked me. Like absolutely fucked me. 34 to 40 degrees. Yeah. It's not fun. We had a week, like literally a week. You could also record while streaming. You reminded me. I am record. So the thing is, I am recording. I always record while I stream. So you just fucking reminded me. Um, One thing I really need to do, and I need to set this up. Uh, I need to set this up. I want a recording. But I need a. I want a recording with none of the overlay shit. None. I want a recording with none of the overlay shit, just the raw video, because a lot of the time the video is better than, like, the just raw content is so much better than anything. Uh, is just better than anything. But OBS doesn't let you record stuff like that. So just like the cam. So like I want the ability, here's what I want. I want the ability to choose whether or not the camera is overlaid onto like the video, if that makes sense. So like a good example is like if you watch like the Russian Badger. In Badger's videos, there's no overlay, there's no camera, there's no chat, there's nothing. It's just the gameplay and his audio. And then sometimes if it's necessary to make the clip like flow better or make it funnier, then he'll overlay his camera onto the gameplay and chat on top of the gameplay. But for the most part, there's none of that. So I would love to have a separate recording going of just like the gameplay, audio, mic, and like maybe the music, and then like I could overlay it on top of like whenever I would want, like a Russian Badger style, because like to jump back and forth, because like there's sometimes where it's genuinely funnier if you can't see my face. I'm fairly certain he uses a separate recording software for it. I'm like a gajillion% sure he does, because I looked into it with OBS. Um, I looked into it with OBS and it doesn't allow you. It doesn't allow you to do separate like. It doesn't allow you to do separate recordings like that. He's found a way. I know what he does. He just screen records. Um, I thought about that too, because I have like the Nvidia shit, which could just do it. Oh, I need to check on something after this game that's actually like kind of important. I'm not gonna win a dogfight with that thing. I hate that this thing doesn't have flares or missiles. It's just a strike aircraft. Part of me even wonders if it's worth it to even run bombs on this thing. Like, I hate bombing. Want backup? It won't matter. You can hop in for sure, but like I hate this. This thing is, it's not very maneuverable. It's it really should be faster. The fact that it's not is kind of is really ridiculous. What was I gonna say? So I need to do it through the stream computer. I need to do it through the stream computer. Hold on, I need to check something really quick. I need like work stuff. I need to check something. The Lord and Savior is getting on. I need to check something. Oh fuck me. Hold on. Hold on. This is completely unrelated to stream. It's more work stuff than Did he say anything yet? By half? They cut it by half? Wait a minute. Did they cut it by? Oh fuck. Hold on. Wait, no. I'm sorry. This like is like I've been following this like all. I woke up at like 5 a.m. for this. It may not mean the only thing you save is money. I saved the whole shift from going under. Oh my fucking god, really? First rate cut in 4 years. Did they cut it by 50? No, that was yesterday all day long. Is your company that outdated or whatever you say? No, they just refuse to buy machines that work upon installation. Hell yeah. We love incompetent work. Holy Jesus. I'm sorry if we. I had to cut the War Thunder a little short. We'll come back. We'll jump back into it in a second. I just really needed to. Wow. Hold on. Jesus fucking Christ. No, it's too fucking risky. Holy shit. Isn't like a liter of blood like 250 euros? You're good. Depends. Holy fucking shit. Ugandan knuckles. Oh. Wow. Wow. My blood has been replaced with iced tea. Fuck yeah, that's how my blood is. Minimize that. That's crazy. Hold on, I gotta. That's insane. That's fucking crazy. So, so for those who, if you're wondering what it is exactly, like I'm looking at, like we talked about finance on here a few times. I feel like something will jump out of the dark ass room behind you. Oh, that's my bathroom. Oh, that'd be real silly. Don't ruin my plans. I don't actually drink anything other than OJ in the morning and iced tea. Iced tea go hard. Oh, that's fucked up. So so here's what happened. Um here's what happened. Um Today was the day that the American Fed was meeting, and to those no most people don't really know what that means. If you're in any form of finance sector, they just cut interest rates by 50 points, which is insane. It's the biggest rate cut in 4 years. It is absolutely nuts. They were predicting fucking 25, like a quarter of a base, like a quarter of a point. To go 50, to go half a point is insane in one cut. That doesn't sound too hot because right now people are thinking this could be the beginning of a recession. Like this is massive. Like people don't realize how big this is. Like this may be the beginning of a recession. Like I've been watching the markets for a while, and basically all morning, and everything's crashing. Everything, like I don't know if it's going to be down a percent today or not, but it is all over the place, dude. That's quite fucked then, isn't it? So it's to trigger a correction. That's what it's supposed to do. You cut rates by 0.5% because you want to increase the value of the dollar, reduce lending for banks, like all of this. So you're not going to see any more. No, this is no more high yield savings accounts. No more of that. Like that's gone. Like no 5% interest. They've gotten rid of it. Like that's it. It's done. Um, and the market's going to see a big correction from this, and you're going to see more money put into government-backed securities in Europe and overseas. Yeah, holy shit, dude. Oh my god, yeah, it just keeps falling. It had a massive spike, but it's a good thing in the long run. In the short term, like 2 years or so, it's not going to look too good. So it goes from bad to good. Yes, it goes from bad to good. Um, to to just kind of put it mildly, everything's going to back off. A lot of people are going to be selling. A lot of countries are going to be selling. A lot of countries that hold American securities are going to be selling, and they're going to be buying debt-backed securities, or like just they're going to be buying America's debt, which just means they're going to be buying bonds. They're going to buying like just equity bonds or just infrastructure shit, things that actually will like benefit the American and global economy in the long run. But in the short term, you are going to have major drawbacks, major, because in when Biden was coming into office, they were going to cut rates, and they didn't because they wanted to do it before the presidency. And Biden said, "No, don't do that. It's going to ruin the campaign, whatever." And they didn't, and they never did, and they didn't do it through his entire 4-year tenure. So Trump goes to run. I was at Champions League game yesterday. Hell yeah! So when Trump's getting elected, he said the same thing. Don't do it. But the second Biden dropped out, there's no race anymore. Everyone is banks, governments are fairly confident that Trump's going to win this next election, and the Fed seems to be fairly confident in that too, which is one thing within itself. And so they're like, this isn't going to affect his campaign very much. And they're like, fuck it, let's cut rates by the biggest rate cut in 4 years. So at the beginning of Trump's election, the economy is going to be in the shit. Is probably going to be shit. but we'll see. Let's see. Wait, what's the yen looking? What does the yen look like right now? Futures, yen, euro, Japanese yen. Yeah, the yen spiked. Holy shit. And the reason like you want to look at something like the yen, it's going to suck in the beginning, but if you know how to like take advantage of it, which I hope to just kind of come across to you fellas, even in Europe, you should be able to the most part. If you have access to buying American stuff, do it. This is not right now, not right this second. Don't buy American stuff right now. Let it come down, but when it's like give it like a couple months, maybe a year, start slowly trickling money in, start buying stuff like some American securities, American stuff and and in like 2 to 3 years you'll almost have doubled your money. Like that's what this whole that it's a correction. Hi Lawless. So the thing that's happening right now is Jerome Powell is still talking. So if you I'm going to throw that name around a lot. Jerome Powell, he's the leader of the Fed. He's basically God. He's basically God. He's more powerful than the government. He's the guy who prints the government's money. So literally anytime he speaks, it's going to make or break the economy. So he just confirmed 50 basis points. That's crazy. And right now, like right in this moment, this is like a it's almost history. I mean, like I mean, as far as financial history goes, this is crazy. It is crazy. Like they've never done this before. Yeah, 10-year Treasury notes are going up. That's crazy. Well, first time for everything in it. Yeah, no, it's a first time for everything. It's crazy. It's insane. Oh my god, I completely forgot about the yield curve. The yield curve inverted, which is like, yeah, man. Oh man, that's crazy. So this is why I think data is better, right? Because if any of you for whatever reason decide to go into a finance background for whatever reason, right? And or at least take a finance class, pay attention to data, pay attention to numbers, pay attention to learn to read a chart. Oh my god. Uh, like there is there's news trading and there's data trading. Just go off of numbers, go off of data, go off of what you're seeing, not what you're hearing. And the only news that matters is the shit that comes out of Jerome Powell's mouth. Because like we're probably the American economy. I mean the every it's probably going to close up. The markets are probably going to close above close from yesterday, so it's going to be up like 0.5%. But then tomorrow, the day after that, the end of the week, we don't know. Like we have no idea where this is going. It's just an adrenaline shot. That's crazy. That- That's crazy. That's crazy, dude. Dude, a lot of people are about to lose a lot of money. A lot of people are about to lose a lot of fucking money. And I'm so glad, dude. I told as many of my friends who are willing to listen to sell the spy to liquidate assets because it's not going to be back here for like another 4 years. Like we're seeing this is history. No, this is historical. I don't like it's massive. We're looking at something that hasn't happened since the 90s, dude. Like seriously, like everything's going to get hit. People are starting to like so like tech is a big thing. Tech is a big talking point for a lot of companies, right? And people are finally starting to realize that there's more money in selling these idiots the shovel than there is to mine the gold. You know, like that's what this is, and people are starting to go like, oh, like they're going like, oh shit, there's no money in it. There's no money in it. There's no innovation. What do we do? How do we get about it? How do we make things better? Oil's gonna go down. Fucking gold's gonna go down. Like the only it's just like everything's gonna go down in the next couple weeks. Everything. That's awesome. That's crazy, dude. That is actually insane. But it's like I'm I want to preface this. I'm speaking this from like more of a place of passion than I am of fear because passion is like this is exciting. You know, like yeah, a lot of people are going to lose money. I don't know what the people have already been losing their jobs. I don't think that's really going to affect I mean, and what is this thing called? Like these points? Okay, the Fed goes off of a system called basis points. So it's basically a percentage yield on how much a bank can lend you, right? And because the American economy was so inflated, like I mean really inflated, because of COVID, because of if you want to call it Biden's presidency, what for whatever reason, whatever you want to call it, the economy is inflated. We have been inflated for the past 4 years. We've had no rate cuts. So the reason you would want to do a rate cut is you need to stop spending. People are spending too much money. And why is that a bad thing? Is that when there's too much money, you're out only 4 years. You say only 4 years, but we pumped we printed $2 trillion. $2 trillion. Everyone in America got a $600 stimulus check, and then millions upon billions of dollars of unemployment. I mean, it is an inconceivable amount of money. Like you don't just do that and not suffer consequences. You can't. And people have been waiting and wondering when is this going to boil over? Because it has to. That's how the economy works. So what's going like people are like, "Oh my god, what's going to happen next?" Like it's literally like fuck it's like what are people going to do? You know? Like what's going on? What's going to happen to tech? What's going to happen to oil? What's going to happen to your job? What's going to happen to other people's jobs? Because whatever happens to America trickles down into everybody else. What are you going to do? You know, what are you going to do? And the thing is, be patient. For one, be patient, stay calm, don't react. You can't react to something like this. I day trade, dude. I'm trying to be in and out of position in a day. That's how I try to make my money. That's how I try to make a living. Right? Step numero fucking uno. Don't fucking panic. Don't react. Just be a part of it. Just experience it. Just witness it in intake. Just let it happen. Because for the most part, you're not going to feel it. What this is going to mean, though, is that in the long run, you're going to see things like lower home prices, cheaper groceries, cheaper gas. These are all things that people really need and all things that people really like. So, this is the consequence of that. This is how you have to get there, right? This isn't like a 2008 housing market crash. No, this is going to be complete. This is supposed to be a controlled descent. That's what this is supposed to be. It is going to be a controlled descent down. And then when the time comes, we're gonna undo all the work, all of like the government's meddling, and let the economy flow free again. Is that purely for the U.S. or is this going to felt everywhere to some degree? It's going to be affected everywhere, everywhere. America is the biggest economy in the world. It's going to be affected everywhere. Um, to what degree, I don't know. I don't know, but whatever. So like as far as like a European bank, they like the most valuable currency in the world is this a one like a dollar bill. This is the most valuable currency in the world, and all we're trying to do is keep it that way. So it will trickle down into other countries. I don't know how effective it's going to be for other countries, but I know for places like Japan, Japan is a really good marker because Japan, their culture doesn't spend. They save and they save and they save and they save, and it makes their currency more valuable because people aren't they're not buying stuff. Well, it actually no, it makes their currency less valuable. And then when times like this happen, their currency becomes more valuable because they literally have just been loading up on American debt. So in a nutshell, they're forcing the economy to slow down and shrink to make sure it won't crash heavily in the future. Correct. Correct. That is basically exactly what it is. Because when you let the economy roam free, you literally like you're kind of creating like a monopoly effect where like you're creating like a monopoly effect where there's too much power and money in one spot. It's what happened with with the housing crisis and the dot-com boom in the early 2000s is we had a system of just like people like lending money. Like the whole reason the housing market crashed is because people were giving loans to people who couldn't afford them. They couldn't afford to pay off their debt. So if you let it, you're basically going for a funky Black Friday moment if you let it run free. Exactly. And the economy will heal itself regardless of points. Like it's gonna this is gonna level out. I can't say for sure how far down it's gonna go. I don't know. Um, but it's like this is for the next week. Maybe to the end of maybe to the end of September, we're gonna have a bit of an adrenaline shot. We're gonna okay. So like, here's the other thing: is that for this is something ever since the beginning of September, I've noticed that the American economy, our global market or our leading market, like the Dow, the SPY, and the Nasdaq, have been declining at market open. Pretty much every morning it's been in the red, which is the European, Japanese, Asian market. Pretty much globally, they're selling. They're selling all of their equity. They're liquidating. They're liquidating billions of dollars of equity. So they're selling all of their companies like Amazon, Nvidia, AMD, Walmart, like just American companies in general. They're selling them all, and and then they're rotating that money into debt securities like bonds, like Treasury bonds. Considering how far up everything went over the years, I think and hope it will go down a good bit. It should. Cheaper groceries, cheaper gas. I mean, I mean, like, think of necessities. Like, think of shit like that. Um, Gold's probably going to go down, which will be good. I mean, this is gonna be good in the long run. Like it always is. Um, I think that the reason they were so aggressive is that this is like they're never this aggressive because I work in a grocery store at the start of COVID. Oh man, yeah, that is just no good. Like I think the reason they're being this aggressive is because I think here's the thing is that I feel like the people make fun of the Fed in America, like at least Americans do. Market makers make fun of the Fed because of how much power he holds, and they joke about like what decision he make. I think he's way smarter than we lit on. So I've seen the start of the heaviest inflation seen in the EU ever. Yeah, and I mean like people are like, "Oh, it didn't affect the dollar." It affected the dollar. It affected everything. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna fix it. I don't know if it's gonna be a big correction. Oh wait, he's hold on.
Progress toward our goals over the past 2 years. The labor market has cooled from its formerly overheated state. Inflation has eased substantially from a peak of 7% to an estimated 2.2% as of August. We're committed to maintaining our economy's strength by supporting maximum employment and returning inflation to our 2% goal.
I have it open on another monitor.
Today, the Federal Open Market Committee decided to reduce the degree of policy restraint
I've seen people
by
go from paying
lowering
like
our
10
policy
euro for
interest rate
spaghetti to
by
paying
a
like
half
nearly
percentage
30
point.
just for spaghetti. Yeah,
This
it's
decision
crazy.
reflects our growing confidence that with an appropriate recalibration of our policy stance, strength in the labor market can be maintained in a context of
Recalibration.
moderate growth and inflation moving sustainably down to 2%.
It's
We
sad.
also
It's fucking
decided to continue
disgusting.
to reduce our securities holdings. I will have more to say about monetary policy after briefly reviewing economic developments. Recent indicators suggest that economic activity has continued to expand at a solid pace. GDP rose at an annual rate of 2.2% in the first half of the year, and available data point to a roughly similar pace of growth this quarter. Growth of consumer
There's been no
spending has
breakout
remained
yet.
resilient, and investment in equipment and intangibles has picked up from its anemic pace last year. In the housing sector, investment fell back in the second quarter after rising strongly in the first. Improving supply conditions have supported resilient demand and the
There's been
strong
no
performance
breakout
of the
yet.
U.S. economy over the past year. In our summary of economic projections, committee participants generally expect GDP growth to
It's
remain
trying.
solid,
So
with a median projection of
from what
2%
I'm seeing on my
over the
chart
next few
is
years. In the labor market, conditions
we
have
haven't
continued to
had.
cool.
There's no
Payroll
pop
job
yet.
gains averaged 116,000 per month over the past 3 months,
The market's
a
trying to
notable
push
step
up,
down from
and
the
it's
pace
not
seen
letting it.
earlier in the year. The unemployment rate has moved up but remains low at 4.2%. Nominal wage growth has eased over the past year, and the jobs to workers gap has narrowed.
There's no money.
Overall, a broad set of indicators suggests that conditions in the labor market are now less tight than just before the pandemic in 2019. The labor market is not a source of elevated inflationary pressures. The median projection for the unemployment rate in the SEP is 4.4% at the end of this year, 0.4 higher than projected in June. Inflation has eased notably over the past 2 years, but remains above our longer run goal of 2%.
Hold on,
Estimates based
I'll
on the
do
Consumer
this
Price
so you
Index
can
and other
actually see
data
what we're
indicate
doing.
that total PCE prices rose 2.2% over the 12 months
I think
ending
I
in
agree
August,
in large part
and that excluding the
that
volatile
plays into
food and energy
inflation might be the
categories, core
car
PCE
industry,
prices
especially with the
rose
shift in
2.7%.
interest from EVs and
Longer-term
CEVs.
inflation expectations appear to remain well anchored, as reflected in a broad range of surveys of households, businesses, and forecasters, as well as measures from financial markets. The median
There's been no
projection in the
breakout
SEP
yet.
for total PCE inflation is 2.3% this year and 2.1% next year, somewhat lower than projected in June. Thereafter, the median
So
projection
even
is
though it's
2%.
like you're seeing a little pop here, we're going to be looking
Our
down
monetary
here.
policy actions are guided
be
by our
looking
dual
here.
mandate to promote maximum employment and stable
It's
prices
running into
for
a
the
wall.
American people.
There's no
For much
one's
of the past
buying.
3 years, inflation ran well above our 2% goal.
No one's buying.
And labor market conditions were extremely tight. Our primary focus had been on bringing down inflation, and appropriately so. We are acutely aware that high inflation imposes significant hardship as it erodes purchasing power, especially for those least able to meet the higher costs of essentials like food, housing, and
These are
transportation.
bonds. Also, I would love
Our
to
restrictive
learn what
monetary
these charts
policy
are.
has helped restore the balance
I love
between
doing
aggregate
money
supply and
streams.
demand,
I love doing
easing
money
inflationary
streams, dude.
pressures,
It's so
and
important.
ensuring that inflation expectations remain well anchored. Our patient approach over the past year has paid dividends. Inflation is now much closer to our objective.
So right now,
and
bonds
we
are
have
following
gained
the
greater
market.
confidence that inflation is
Yep.
moving sustainably toward 2%.
And I told you.
As inflation
told
has
you,
declined
man.
and
Like,
the labor
it's
market
not
has
pushing.
cooled,
There's
the
no-
upside risks to inflation have diminished.
There's nothing. There's
and
no
the downside
support.
risks to employment have increased.
This is why
We
data
now
is more
see the
important.
risks to achieving our employment and inflation goals as roughly in
So I
balance.
can be more direct with what I'm
And
doing.
we are attentive to the risks to both sides of our dual mandate. In light of the progress on inflation and the balance of risks, at today's meeting, the committee decided to lower the target range for the federal funds rate by a half percentage point to 4.75%.
So don't try not to focus too much on this. We're looking at this.
Recalibration of our policy stance will help maintain the
We're
strength
looking
of
at
the
this,
economy
the yellow
and the labor
line.
market, and will continue
This
to enable
line
further
shows
progress on
relative
inflation
strength in
as we begin the
relative strength.
process
So
of
what
moving
people are
toward a
buying,
more
what people
neutral
are selling.
stance.
Red
We are
line
not
means it's
on any
overbought.
preset
It's
course.
inflated.
We
Green
will continue
line,
to
it's
make our
oversold.
decisions
People are
meeting by
selling too
meeting.
much. So right now,
We know that reducing
so we have a
policy
1
restraint
minute,
too
3
quickly
minute,
could
and a
hinder
15
progress
minute.
on
So each
inflation.
candle is a different
At the same
interval
time,
of time.
reducing restraint too slowly could unduly weaken economic activity and employment.
Each chart will
In
show something
considering additional
a
adjustments
difference
to
in
the target
strength.
range for the federal funds rate, the committee will
15
carefully
minute would be the
assess
strongest,
incoming
and
data,
everything
the
past that,
evolving
it would just be
outlook, and the
stronger,
balance of
stronger,
risks.
stronger signaling.
In our
The yellow line
SEP,
wants to go down, but
FOMC
can't.
participants
Exactly.
wrote down their individual assessments of an appropriate
And with
path for
good
the
pattern
federal funds rate
recognition,
based on
we
what
can
each
make
participant judges to be
we can make
the
something
most
called
likely
a flag
scenario
pattern
going
or a
forward.
pennant pattern, where it's like
If the economy
it
evolves
looks
as
like
expected,
a
the
point.
median
It'll come
participant
to a
projects
point,
that the appropriate level
which is
of the
what
federal
we see
funds
on the
rate will
3
be
minute.
4.4% at
And
the
on the
end of this
15
year,
minute, it's just kind
and
of in a straight line,
3.4%
but
at the
everything
end of
has a
2025.
wall.
These
So-
median projections are lower than in June, consistent
So
with the
right
projections
now-
for lower inflation and higher unemployment.
So right now, we're just seeing just reaction. People are reacting to 50 points, which is, again, massive. It is huge. And he's trying to lower.
If the economy remains
trying to
solid
get
and
more money
inflation
back in the
persists,
economy or
we
save
can
money.
dial back
We're
policy
just trying to get shit
restraint more
cheaper.
slowly. If the labor market were to weaken unexpectedly or inflation were to fall more quickly than anticipated, we are
And if it was
prepared to
simplified
respond.
to look like the cookie clicker stock
Policy is
market,
well
this
positioned
would be
to
easy.
deal with the risks and
It pretty much
uncertainties that we
does.
face in pursuing both sides of our dual mandate. The Fed has been assigned two goals for monetary policy: maximum employment and stable prices. We remain committed
Maximum
to
employment.
supporting
So there have been a
maximum
lot
employment,
of job
bringing
cuts
inflation
recently.
back down to our
Lot of
2%
job
goal,
cuts.
and keeping longer-term inflation expectations well anchored. Our success in delivering on these goals matters to all Americans. We understand
So
that
we
our
can kind of
actions
put a
affect
line,
communities, families,
like
and
right
businesses
about
across
here
the
at
country.
566.
Everything
we
we
don't
do
know.
is in
It has
service to our public
it
mission.
broke past it
We
twice,
at the Fed
but
will
it
do
hasn't
everything
held.
we can to achieve our maximum employment and price stability goals.
567 is the
Thank
mark.
you. I look forward to your questions.
Steve Leisman, CNBC. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for taking our questions. In July, you said you weren't necessarily thinking about a 50. You didn't want to be specific, but you said you weren't thinking about a 50. The inflation data last week came out a little firmer than expected. Retail was strong, third quarter GDP running 3%. So
the more
what
people buy, the
changed
more
that made the
expensive it gets,
committee
right?
go
Yes.
50, and how do you respond to the concerns that perhaps it shows the Fed is more concerned about the labor market?
And the yellow
And I
line
guess should we
tells
expect more 50s in the
where
months ahead?
people are buying,
And
like
based on what
relatively
should
what
we make
people
that
are
call?
buying,
Thank
how
you.
they're buying,
So,
to what
okay, a
degree
lot of
they're
questions
buying.
there. Let me jump in. Since the last meeting, Okay, the last meeting, we have had a lot of data come in. We've had the 2 employment reports, July and August. We've also had 2 inflation reports, including one that came in during blackout. We had the QCEW
You can see our
report,
mark,
which suggests
like
that
it's just
that not
staying in
maybe, it
between these
suggests
two.
that the payroll report numbers that we're
What
getting
this,
may be
what the blue and the
artificially
yellow
high
lines
and will
are,
be
that's a
revised down.
bracket in
You know
between.
that.
It shows the distribution
We've
of
also
volume,
seen
like what price
anecdotal
people
data
are
like the
buying
beige
at.
book. So we took all of those.
So people
And
are
we
buying
went
a
into
lot
blackout and we thought
around
about what to
562,
do, and we concluded that this was the right thing for the economy, for the people that we serve.
mainly
And
because and the
that's how we
dotted
made our
line was the
decision.
previous day close.
So that's one question. What was the second and
How
third?
do we make sorry, thank you, sir. How do we figure out in the months ahead, is there another 25 or 50 coming in? Based on what shall we make that call? Thank you.
Sure. So a couple things. A good place to start is the SEP, but let me start with what I said, which was that we're going to be making decisions meeting by meeting based on the incoming data, the evolving outlook, the balance of risks. If you look at the SEP, you'll see that it's a process of recalibrating our policy stance away from where we had it a year ago when inflation was high
Recalibrating.
and unemployment low, to a place that's more appropriate given where we are now and where we expect to be. And that process will take place over time. There's nothing in the SEP that suggests the committee is in a
Keeps
rush
breaking down
to get this
below.
done. This process evolves over time. Of course, that's
There's
a
going to be a
projection. That's a baseline
like I'm
projection.
telling you, man, it's going to
We
be a
know, as I
massive
mentioned
move
in
up
my
or down.
remarks, that the
It's
actual
literally
things
a
that we do
coin
will
flip,
depend
but
on
I
the
would
way
have
the
to put
economy
money on
evolves.
down.
We can go quicker if that's appropriate. We can go slower if that's appropriate. We can pause if that's appropriate. But that's what we were contemplating. Again, I would point you to the SEP as just an
Also, this
assessment
chart
of
on the
where,
bottom is it shows
what the
relative
committee is
flow of
thinking
the market.
today,
So
what
it's
the
like
individual
when
members,
the
rather,
blue
of the
line
committee are
crosses
thinking
over the
today,
yellow line,
assuming that their particular forecasts
see a downtrend,
take, are
and then vice
realized.
versa.
Hi, Chris Rugaber at Associated Press. Thank you. The projections show that the Fed officials expect the Fed funds rate to still be above their estimate of long-run neutral by the end of next year. So does that suggest you see rates as restrictive for that entire period? Does that threaten the weakening of the job market that you said you'd like to avoid? Or does it suggest that maybe people see the short-run neutral as a little bit higher?
I really
you.
feel like we're
Thank you.
going to see a
I
pop
think
in a direction.
the way I
and
would really characterize it is this. I think people write down their estimate, individuals do. I think every single person on the committee, if you ask them what's your level of certainty around that, they would say there's a wide range where that could fall. So I think we don't know. There are model-based approaches and empirically based approaches that estimate what the neutral rate will be at any given time.
This is
But
exciting.
realistically,
I love
we
this.
know it by its works. So that leaves us in a place where where we expect, in the base case, to be continuing to
Also, the
remove
pink
restriction.
line is
And
VWAP,
we'll be looking at the way the
volume-weighted
economy
average
reacts
price.
to that.
So, like,
and that'll be
generally
guiding
speaking,
us
where
in our
people are
thinking
buying,
about
and it holds
the
as a
question that we're
line.
asking at every meeting, which
So
is,
it's right
our
at
policy
VWAP right
stance
now.
the appropriate one? We know,
And it
if you go
has
back, we know
just
that the
shattered
policy
past
stance we
VWAP.
adopted in July of 2023 came at a time when unemployment was 3.5% and inflation was 4.2%. Today,
People are about to start getting the
unemployment
hint.
is up to 4.2%. Inflation's down to a few
We could see
tenths
like a
above
pullback
2.
back up.
So
I mean,
we know that
I
it
don't know.
is
I can't
time
see. That's the
to
thing is that you can
recalibrate
never time it.
our policy
You can
to
never
something that
time
is
it, especially
more
with something like
appropriate
this. You
given
can
the
never
progress
time
on
it. Never
inflation
try
and
timing
on,
the market.
employment,
Just be
moving
ready
to a
for
more
it.
sustainable level. So that the balance
That's
of
the
risks
thing.
are
It's just
now
like you
even.
need to be
This is the
ready for the
beginning of that
worst or the
process.
best, but
I
you will
mentioned
never
the
be able to
direction of
time
which
the
is
best
toward,
or the worst.
A sense of neutral, and we'll move
Because
as
he could have
fast
left
or as
interest
slow
rates
as we
unchanged,
think
and the
is
market would have
appropriate
been
in real time. But what
it
you
would have
have
been
is
completely normal. It probably actually would be up
accumulation
higher
of
where it is
individual
right now. It's
estimates
going to keep
of
going
what that
down
will
a
be
bit.
in the base case.
Remember, monkey pattern recognition is a very powerful tool. Like
Howard Schneider with Reuters. How close was this in terms of the decision? You do have the first dissent by a governor since 2005, I think. Was the weight clearly in favor of a 50, or was this a very close decision?
I think we had a good discussion. If you go back, I talked about this at Jackson Hole, but I didn't address the question of the size of
this
the
is
cut.
the
Left
real
it open,
line.
and I think
If
we
it
left
breaks
open
down
going into
past previous
blackout.
day close,
And so there was a lot of discussion. back and forth, good diversity of opinion.
'Cause we're still
Excellent
up
discussion today. I
0.1%.
think there was also broad support for the decision that the committee voted on. So I would add, though, look
My
at the
monkey
SEP.
pattern
All
recognition
19
is working.
of the participants wrote down multiple cuts this year, all 19. That's a big change from June, right? Seven of them wrote down 3 or more, and 17 of the 19 wrote down 3 or more cuts, and 10 of the 19 wrote
We
down
haven't even gotten
4 or more
close to
cuts.
the
So,
bottom on any of
there is a
these.
dissent, and there's a range of views, but there's actually a lot of common ground as well.
Follow up to that, now that this is in the bill,
Also, try and keep in mind the
some
speed
guidance sort of
at
on
which
on the pacing
the
here.
RSI will change in
Do you
direction.
expect this to be running every other meeting once we get into next year, for
Yeah,
example?
we're gonna take it meeting by meeting. As I mentioned, there's no sense that the committee feels it's in a rush to do this. We made a good, strong start to this, and that's really, frankly, a sign of our confidence. Confidence that inflation is coming down toward 2% on a sustainable basis. That gives us the ability. We can, make a good,
What they're
strong
not telling
start,
you
but,
is
and I'm very pleased
it
that we
was
did.
up
To me, the logic of this,
8.5.
both from an economic standpoint and also
It's
from a risk
down
management
2%
standpoint, was
of
clear.
that 8.5.
But I think we're going to go carefully, meeting by meeting, and make our decisions as we go.
Gina. Hi, Chair Powell. Gina Smilek of the New York Times. Thanks for taking our questions. You and your colleagues in your economic projections today see the unemployment rate climbing to 4.4% and staying there. Obviously, historically, when the unemployment rate climbs that much over a relatively short period of time, it doesn't typically just stop. It continues increasing.
Yes.
And so I wonder if you can walk us through why you see the labor market stabilizing, sort of what's the mechanism there, and what do you see as the risks?
It's an uninteresting work, and people aren't
Again,
getting
the
paid
labor market
enough.
is actually in solid condition, and our intention,
I don't know
with
about
our
that.
policy move today, is to keep it there. You can say that about the whole economy. The U.S. economy is in good shape. It's growing at a solid pace. Inflation is coming down.
I've completely
The labor
zoned out
market is in
whatever
a
you're
strong
playing.
pace. We want to
I
keep it
just
there.
see the red and
That's
green to
what
have
we're
feel
doing.
on what it's going to do. It's exciting.
Sorry, Nick.
It's like, of course the economy is growing. It's been left unchecked.
Nick Timmeros of the Wall Street Journal. Chair Powell, does today's action constitute a catch-up in action given recent substantial revisions to the employment data? Or is this larger than typical rate cut a function of the elevated nominal level of the
I will
policy
s-
rate
it-
such that an accelerated cadence could be expected to continue?
I'm really curious to see what happens when he's done talking.
Multiple questions in there, but so I would say.
Whoa,
we don't think we're
big
behind.
spike.
We do not think we think this is timely, but I think you can take this as a sign
That was a big
of our
jump.
commitment not to
That
get
was
behind.
that was a big
So
jump.
it's a strong move. Sorry, your other question was?
Well, is this about what happened in the employment data between this meeting and the last meeting, or is this about the level of the
That
funds
was a-
rate?
that
the
was
high
a
nominal
big- that
level
was
of
a
funds
big
rate
jump.
relative to
It's
what might be
the
expected
speed
if you're trying to
what that
maintain
was. Oh
equilibrium.
my
I
god!
think it's about
I'm working
we
with
come
delay
into
and getting
this,
all this shit right.
with a policy position that was put in place, as you know, I mentioned.
That's what
in
I'm saying,
July
man.
of
It's the
2023,
momentum.
which was a
when
time
it's
of high
when it's
inflation and
green,
very
it's
low
like
unemployment.
relative
very
to
patient
the way it goes
about-
down. It's
about
not going
reducing our
up at the
policy rate.
same
We've
rate.
waited. Other central banks around the world
And
have cut
momentum
many
like
of them
that
several times.
is really
We've
scary
waited, and I
because
think
if you're
that-
on the
that
wrong side of it,
patience has
you
really
will get
paid dividends
fucking
in the form of our confidence that
destroyed.
inflation is moving sustainably under 2%. So I think that is what enables us to take this strong move today. I do not think that anyone should look at this and say, "Oh, this is the new pace." You have to think about it in terms of the base case. Of course, what happens.
Mr. Powell
will
likes
happen.
to say a lot of things about
in the
certain
base
paces.
case, what you see is look at the SEP. You see cuts moving along.
All right,
The-
we're
the
back
sense of
in the
this is
range.
We're
We'll see what
recalibrating
that
policy
does.
down over time to a more neutral level, and we're moving at the pace that we think is appropriate given developments in the economy in the base case. The economy can develop in a way that would cause us to go faster or slower, but that's what the base case says.
And if I could follow up on the balance sheet. In 2019, when you did the mid-cycle adjustment, you ceased the balance sheet runoff. With a larger cut today, should there be any
I see we're
signal
going to see
inferred
this probably a
about,
small push,
how the committee would approach
and then it's going to go right back to
end
going
state
back
on
down.
the balance sheet policy?
So
I'm gonna jump back to
in
the
the
bonds
current
for a second.
situation, reserves
Yeah,
have
the bonds are
really
just
been
following the
stable. They
market
haven't
right
come
now,
down,
which
so
is
reserves are still
it
abundant.
should be
and
inverted of
expected
what
to
the market's
remain
doing,
so
but
for some
everything
time.
is
As you know, the shrinkage
everything's
in our
going
balance sheet has really
crazy.
come out of the overnight RRP. So I think what that tells you is we're not thinking about stopping runoff because of this at all. We know that these two things can happen side by side. In a sense, they're both a form of normalization.
There's that little pennant
And
again.
so for a time, you can have the balance sheet shrinking, but also be cutting rates.
Thank you. Colby Smith with the Financial Times. Just following up on Gina's question on rising unemployment, is it your view that this is just a function of a normalizing labor market amid improved supply, or is there anything to suggest that something more concerning perhaps is taking place here, given that other metrics of labor demand have softened too?
We're just gonna watch
and I
the
guess,
wall.
in direct follow-up to Gina is, why should we not expect a further deterioration in
Streaming
labor market
stocks. Hi, Laura.
conditions if policy is still restrictive?
So I think what we're seeing is clearly labor market conditions have cooled off by any measure, as I talked about in Jackson Hole. And
Money
but they're
go
still at
brrr.
the level of those conditions is actually pretty close to what I would call maximum employment. So you're close to mandate, maybe at mandate on.
We're
on
back.
that.
We're going back to our roots. We
so
should
what's
do these
driving
more.
it?
I think 25 basis points would have been better.
Clearly-
Everyone
clearly
thinks
payroll
25
job
would have been
creation
better.
has moved down over
They
the
had.
last few years,
I mean,
and
like
this
this
bears
is. I
watching.
mean,
Uh,
50's
By
insane.
many other measures,
50's
the labor
crazy.
market has returned to or below 2019 levels.
Biggest
which
rate
was a
cut in 4
very good,
years.
strong labor market, but this is more sort of 2018, 17. So the labor market bears close
50
watching,
is a
and we'll be giving it.
strong indication. Oh yeah.
But ultimately, we think.
But
we believe,
let's see.
with an appropriate recalibration.
I mean,
of our
we're just
policy,
watching the
we
injection
can
shot,
continue to
like
see
just
economy
the
growing,
adrenaline.
and that
Just
will support the labor market.
people are
In the
just trying to
meantime,
milk
if you
this.
look at
They're
the
just trying to
growth in
milk this
economic
little
activity
fucker for
data,
every
retail
dime
sales
they can
data
get.
We just got second quarter GDP. All of this indicates an economy that is still growing at a solid pace. So that should also support the labor market over time. So, but again,
Buy your bonds, kids. Buy them while
bears
they're
watching,
cheap.
and we're watching.
And just on the point about starting to see rising layoffs, if that were to happen, wouldn't the
Where are
committee
these
also
lines on your
be too late
RSI?
in
Oh,
terms
these
of
are just
avoiding
so I can
recession?
find the patterns.
So that's
So I
you know,
can just like
our plan,
immediately
of
just go
course,
like
has
my
been
eye can
to
just
begin
go
to
to it. I've been
recalibrate
drawing the
and
lines
you know,
ever since.
We're not seeing rising claims.
ever since
we're
I
not
started.
seeing rising layoffs. We're not seeing that, and we're not hearing that from.
Anytime
companies
I
that
spot a
that's something
pattern, I
that's
draw
getting
my
ready to
line.
happen.
It's just a
so We're
habit.
not waiting for that because there is thinking that
You don't want to know
the
what my
time
daily
to
chart
support
for
the
this
labor
looks
market
like.
is
It's
when-
just a sea
is when
of
it's
red
strong,
lines.
and not when you begin to see the layoffs. There's some lore on that. So that's the situation we're in. We have, in fact, begun the cutting cycle now, and we'll be watching, and that'll be one of the factors that we consider. Of course,
This
we're going to
shit's
look at the
benangled,
totality of the data
bro.
as we make these decisions meeting by meeting.
Michael McKee with Bloomberg TV and Radio. To follow up on that, what would constitute for you and the committee a deterioration in the labor market? You're pricing in basically by the end of next year 200 basis points of cuts just to maintain a higher unemployment rate. Would you be moving to a more preemptive monetary
So I did a
policy
lot of
style
selling yesterday
rather
on
than, as
my
you did with
account and my
inflation,
mom's account.
waiting until the data gave you a signal?
I was very
Yeah,
much
we're gonna
liquidating
be
long-term
watching
stuff
all
yesterday.
of the data, right? So if as I mentioned,
I
in my
sold out
remarks,
of
if the labor
funds. I
market
sold
were
out.
to
I mean, like I sold out of the
slow
SPY.
unexpectedly, then we have the ability to react to that by cutting
I
faster.
mean,
We're
this
also
is
going to be
nuts.
looking at our other mandate, though. We are more great. We have greater
I didn't
confidence
even
now
know
that
this was
inflation is
happening
moving
tomorrow,
down to 2%,
or
but
today.
At the same time, our plan is that we will
I had
be
no
at
idea.
2%. Over time.
And then
over
you
time.
just
So
it just
our
happens to
policy,
find
we think,
you.
is
It's
still
fucking
restrictive,
awesome.
so that should still be happening.
I'm just curious as to how sensitive you'll be to the labor market since you forecast we are going to see higher unemployment and it is going to take a significant amount of monetary easing to just maintain it.
I really like the Minecraft
So,
music over this.
What I would say is
I love
we don't
Minecraft
think
music.
we need to see further loosening in labor market conditions to get inflation down to 2%. But we have a dual mandate,
wall.
and I think you can take this whole action.
It's not
as,
really moving anywhere around. It's
just take a step
sticking
back.
around.
What have we been trying to achieve? We're
56.5,
trying to achieve a situation where we
56,
restore price
565.
stability without the kind of painful increase in unemployment that has come sometimes.
I'm seeing
with
patterns.
disinflation.
Good.
That's what we're trying to do.
Good.
And I think you can take today's
Up. Yep.
action as a sign of our strong commitment to
Let's see
achieve
if it
that
breaks
goal.
down within this range.
Hi, Chair Powell. Rachel Siegel from the Washington Post. Thanks for taking our questions. You're describing this view that you don't
Yep,
think
right
you're
back into
behind
the
when it comes
range.
to the job market. Can you walk us through the specific
I will say
data
this is a
points that you
bad
found
time to
be
day trade.
most helpful in the discussions
I mean,
at
if
this
you
meeting? You
are,
mentioned a couple, but would you be able to walk us through what that dashboard told you as far as
I
what you know about the job
personally
market
don't
now?
like
Sure.
volatility.
Let's start
I
with
don't like
unemployment, which is the
trading volatility
single most
because
important
for
one,
one
probably. You're at
thing,
4.2%.
I trade
That's,
options, so
you know, I know
options are
that's higher
super
than
inflated
we
right
were
now.
used
They
to
were
seeing
inflated
numbers in
this
the
morning,
mid,
like they're
even
really
below
expensive
mid
right now
threes last year. But if you look
because
back over the
of
sweep of the years,
the
that's
Fed
that's
decision.
that's a very healthy unemployment rate, and anything in the low fours is a really
And
is a good
I've
signal.
learned my lesson from trading
That's one
Fed
thing.
days. I don't
Participation
do
is
it.
at
I
high
refuse
levels.
to do it.
It's,
I
you
will
know,
I will
we've had
miss
the
out.
right,
I will sit on the boat.
adjusted for
I'm
demographics,
good.
for aging. Participation.
Any
at
dollar
pretty
I
high
would have
levels, that's a good
made
thing. Wages
is
are still a bit above
not
what
worth
would
it.
be their wage increases rather
Any
are
option
still just a
contract
bit
I
above
own
where
currently
they
is long
would
term
be
down
over
the
the very
line.
longer
That shit
term
goes
to be
down
consistent
soon.
with 2%
It goes
inflation. But they're
up
very
really
much
fast. It goes
coming
down really
to what
fast,
that
and
sustainable
everyone is
level
just
is,
in the
so we feel
same
good about
place of
that.
just like we have no fucking
Vacancies
idea what's
over,
going
you know,
on.
per unemployed is back to what is still a very strong
Whenever
level.
you
It's
see
not as
memes
high
of the
as it
stock
was
market, it's like
when
buy,
there
buy,
was
buy,
2 to
sell,
1,
sell.
2
That's what's
vacancies
going
for
on
every
right now.
unemployed person.
That is literally what's going on right
as
now.
measured. It's now
If they
below
snap to a camera
around,
in Wall
it's
Street, it's
around
just
1,
going to
but
be
that's
people
still,
running back and
very
forth
good
like
number.
chickens with their
So,
heads cut off.
you know,
Buy, buy,
quits
buy, sell, sell, sell.
have come back down
Blah, blah,
to
blah, 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 blah.
normal levels. I mean, I could go on and on. There are many, many employment indicators. What do they say? They say this is still a solid labor market. The question isn't the level. The question is that there has been change particularly over the last few months.
You know what? I see it on the
You know,
ticker.
so
I just
what
want
we
to.
say is
I wanna look
as
at what
the
this is doing.
risks, the upside risk to inflation.
I'm keeping an eye
have
on
really
this
come
stock, by
down,
the way.
the downside risk to employment
I
have
had a
increased.
stock
And-
called Maxar.
and
It was the
because
very
we have been
first
patient
long-term position I made big
and
money
held our
on.
fire on
It was the
cutting
first
while
one I ever made
while
really
inflation
good
has
money
come down,
on.
I think we're now in a very
It was
good
a satellite
position
company
to
that was
manage
scoping
the
out the
risks
moon
to both of our goals.
for NASA.
Expect to
Lunar
learn between now
is the
and November
company.
that will help inform the
Lunar
scale of
is the
Fed
company
next
that is
meeting?
going to send probes to the
You know,
moon.
more data. The usual.
Now, if you are good at
Anything else?
history, and I know a lot of you are,
we'll see
because
another
you
labor
watch my
report. We'll
fucking
see,
stupid War Thunder streams,
another
is you will
jobs report. I
always
think
know there
we
is
might
always
get
money
the
in
second jobs report on
exploration.
the day of the
Always.
meeting, I think.
There's always
No,
money in
on the Friday
exploration.
before the meeting.
You don't. It doesn't matter how big the jump is.
And inflation
Moon,
data,
Mars. The
we'll get all
second
this data, we'll be
groundwork
watching.
is
You know, it's
laid
always a
out,
question of
there is always
look
money.
at the incoming
And the thing about Lunar
data
is there's
and
already they
ask what
already
are
have
the
set.
implications of that data for the
They've already
evolving
sent
outlook and
a
the
probe
balance
to the
of
moon,
risks,
and
and
the
then
landing was
go through our
successful.
process
They
and think,
just
what's
got
the right
another
thing to
contract
do?
from
Is
NASA for
policy
2025 to
where we
put
want it
more
be
probes on the moon.
to foster the achievement of our
Russia
goals
does
over
have a
time.
stock
So
market.
that's what it
Every
is,
major
and
nation has a
that's what we'll
stock
be doing.
market. Every single one of them.
Hi, Chair Powell. Neil Irwin with Axios. We've only been running a little above 100,000 jobs a month on payrolls the last 3 months. Do you view that level of job creation as worrying or alarming?
LUNR.
Or would you be content
Lunar.
if we were to kind of stick
Just
at
keep
that
an eye
level?
on. I'm going to be coming
And
back to that
relatedly,
every
one
once
of
in
the
a
welcome
while.
trends of the last couple of years has been labor market
I'm going to take this
steam
time to
coming
piss
out
really quick.
through
I'll be right
job
back.
openings falling rather than job losses. Do you think that trend has further to run, or do you see risk that further labor market cooling will have to come through job losses?
So on the job creation, it depends on the inflows, right? So if you're having millions of people come into the labor force, and you're creating 100,000 jobs, you're going to see unemployment go up. So it really depends on what's the trend underlying the volatility of people coming into the country. We understand there's been quite an influx across the borders, and that has actually been one of the things that's allowed unemployment rate to rise. And the other thing is just the slower hiring rate, which is something we also watch carefully. So it does depend on what's happening on the supply side. And on the beverage curve question, yes. So we all felt on the committee, not all, but I think everyone on the committee felt that job openings were so elevated that they could fall a long way before you hit the part of the curve where job openings turned into higher unemployment, job loss. And yes, I mean, I think we are, it's hard to know that you can't know these things with great precision, but certainly it appears that we're very close to that point, if not at it, so that further declines in job openings will translate more directly into into unemployment. But it's been a great ride down. I mean, we've seen a lot of tightness come out of the labor market in that form without it resulting in lower employment.
Thanks, Chair Powell. Edward Lawrence, Fox Business. So we've heard some speculation that you may be going with the federal funds rate to 3.5%, maybe under 4%. And there's basically an entire generation that has experienced zero or near zero federal funds rate. Now, some think we're heading in that direction again. What's the likelihood that cheap money is now the norm?
So this is a question, and you mean after we get through all of this? It's just a great question that we can only speculate about. Intuitively, many people anyway would say we're probably not going back to that era where there were trillions of dollars of sovereign bonds trading at negative rates, long-term bonds trading at negative rates. And it looked like the neutral rate might even be negative. So people were issuing debt at negative rates. It seems that's so far away now. My own sense is that we're not going back to that. But honestly, we're going to find out. But it feels to me and that the neutral rate is probably significantly higher than it was back then. How high is it? I just don't think we know. We only know it by its works.
One more. How do you respond to the criticism that will likely come that a deeper rate cut now before the election has some political motivations?
Yeah. So this is my fourth presidential election at the Fed, and it's always the same. We're always going into this meeting in particular and asking what's the right thing to do for the people we serve, and we do that, and we make a decision as a group, and then we announce it, and that's always what it is. It's never about anything else. Nothing else is discussed, and I would also point out that the things that we do really affect economic conditions for the most part with a lag. So nonetheless, this is what we do. Our job is to support the economy on behalf of the American people. And if we get it right, this will benefit the American people significantly. So this really concentrates the mind. And it's something we all take very, very seriously. We don't put up any other filters. I think if you start doing that, I don't know where you stop. And so we just don't do that.
Jolene.
Thank you, Chair Powell. I'm Jolene Kent with CBS News. My first question is, very simply, what message are you trying to send American consumers, the American people, with this unusually large?
I knew this would happen. I knew it. It happens every time. Every time I go to the bathroom, like something happens. It's so annoying.
Our decision today is designed to keep it there. More specifically, the economy is growing.
Sal, bye.
Is coming down closer to our 2%
waffles,
objective.
tasty waffles.
And the labor market is still in solid shape. So our intention is really to maintain the strength that we currently see in the U.S. economy.
I think I want to do more stock streams, man.
From their high
like
level,
I do
which has
genuinely
really been,
enjoy these. I think
the purpose of which has been to get inflation under control.
The difference
we're going to move those down over time to a more normal level.
Every time I've traded in the past, like I try and think like. Pretty sure you're drawing lines again
Listening
soon.
to you talk about inflation moving meaningfully down to 2%.
So we can get rid of.
Is the Federal Reserve effectively
declaring
a decisive victory over inflation and rising prices?
I don't want to duplicate it. I want to remove it.
We're not. So inflation. What we say
is
this
is
going
to be the trend.
The goal is to have inflation move down to 2%.
It's back up above previous day close, but it's only 0.02%, 0.01.
We're not really. We're close, but we're not really at 2%.
Once it breaks past this fucking line, dude, I'm telling you,
around 2% and close to 2% for some time. But
we have a wall.
Not
like it's going to go up to like half of the red.
Mission accomplished or anything like that, but. I have to say though, we're encouraged by the progress.
But yeah, you can see on the 15-minute now. Like, look at that. Like, we're just kind of see on the 15-minute. You're going to see less of like the pennant patterns, less of the flag patterns, more of just downward trend lines.
To know,
down or upward trend lines.
Is thinking about.
Let's check the 1 hour.
Persistence we've seen in housing inflation.
Okay, so this is something that's really important on the hour. The hour will show you much more data.
Inflation where it
much more data. And then we can zoom in a bit. And
inflation
just
like,
is the
you can just see that it's just been stagnant in between this range of like 560 to 566.
We know that market rents are doing what we would want
And,
them to do, which
you know,
is to be
it's just
moving
like,
up
and
at
then the next
relatively
wall
low
was
levels.
553.
But they're not rolling over. The leases that are rolling over.
If there's a time to
are
go
not,
below 560, it's
coming
now.
down as
I
much,
mean,
and
like, if it doesn't go
OER is
below
coming in
560,
high.
then
So,
it's going up. But, you know, we zoom
it's
back
been
out,
slower
it's like,
than we expected. I think we now
look at what
understand that
happens,
it's going to
you
take
know?
some time for those lower market rents to get into this. But
it did the
you know,
same
the
thing
direction
back
of
here.
travel is
563
clear,
was its
and
wall.
as long as market rents remain, you know, relatively low inflation over
There's
time,
ton-
that
and,
will
like,
show
also
up. Just
keep in mind the
time
room,
it's taking now several years rather than just one
where
or
it
two
is
cycles
relative
of annual
to
lease renewals.
relative to where
I
it
think
is.
we understand
You know,
that
some
now, but
anxious people are
I don't
selling
think the
because they're
outcome
worried
is in
about
doubt
losing
again,
money.
as long
Oh, dude,
as
this is the time to
market
sell.
rents
Banks are
remain under
selling.
control. The outcome's
Retail
not in
investors
doubt.
should be
So
selling.
I
Like,
would say
the only
it's
person who
the rest
loses
of- the
here
rest
is
of
like the
portfolio
individual,
or of
right?
the elements that go
They're
into
called
per piece of the
retail
inflation
investors, like
have behaved
you and
pretty
I,
well.
your mom and
You know,
pop.
they're
You know,
all- they
those
all have
people
some
lose.
volatility.
And
We
it's
will
a
get
real
down
shame.
2% inflation, I believe.
Oh, this is what my
And I
daily
believe
looks like.
that
You can't even see the
ultimately
fucking yellow
we'll
line.
get
It's so fucking
what we
all
need
over
to
the
get
place.
out of the housing services piece too.
Some of
But,
your
like, I wanna
colleagues
zoom
have
in on this,
expressed
too. It's the
concern
same thing
that
you see.
With starting to cut rates, you could reignite demand in housing and see prices go up even more.
It's crazy, man.
You know, what's the likelihood of that, and how would you react to that?
The housing market, it's hard to game that out. The housing market is in part frozen because of lock-in with low rates. People don't want to sell their home. So
Yeah,
because
no
they have
one
a
wants
very
to
low
sell their
mortgage,
home.
it'd be quite
I think
expensive to
actually people
refinance.
do
As
want to
rates
sell their
come
homes.
down,
Like, there's good prices,
people will
right?
start
Or like
to move more, and that's probably
people
beginning
want to
to
sell,
happen
but there's not
already.
a lot of people
But
buying.
remember,
That's the
when that
difference.
happens, you've got a seller, but you've also got a new buyer in many
Yeah,
cases.
man.
So it's not obvious how much additional demand that would make. I mean, the real issue with housing is that we have had and are on track.
I'm
to
still gonna
continue
be
to have
watching, like, shit
not
like
enough
tech.
housing. And so it's going to be challenging. It's hard to find.
I think like
zone
stuff like
lots that
Nvidia
are
will
in
be
places
okay.
where people
Amazon,
wanna
like big
live.
companies will be
It's
okay.
all of the aspects of housing are more and more difficult, and you know.
Oh, yeah, they speaking
where we're
about
gonna get the
housing, that
supply, and
shit's
this is
gonna go
not something
down.
that the Fed can really fix. But I think as we normalize
The
rates,
Fed
you'll see
can't
the
fix
housing market
housing. There, you
normalize.
said it.
And I mean, ultimately,
Watching
by getting
gas,
inflation broadly
Chevron.
down and getting those rates normalized,
about
and getting the
banks?
housing
What's-
cycle normalized,
God.
that's the best thing we can do for householders. And then the supply question will have to be dealt with by the market and also by government.
What are banks looking like?
Hi, Victoria Guido with Politico. Just following up on some of the labor
This
market
is-
talk earlier, you know,
Banks
monetary
don't move this
policy
much.
operates
That's
with
the one-
long
that's
and
like-
variable lags. And I'm wondering how much you see being able to keep the unemployment rate from
Huge down
raising
for
too
the-
much comes from the fact that you're starting to
Good
act
1
now,
hour.
and that's going to give people more room to run versus just the labor market is strong.
Yeah, you're gonna see banks get
And then
hit.
also, if I could, following up on Nick's question,
This looks like the
do
economy
you
is
see
collapsing.
today's 50 basis point move
Right
as
now-
partially a response to the fact that you
Right
didn't
now,
cut
it's
in
hard to
July, and
say.
that sort of
Well,
gets
we're
you
not
to
going to
the
see
same
it
place?
within. We're probably going to
You're
see
right
it
about
some
lags,
more
but
tomorrow.
I would just point to the overall economy. You have an economy
We're
that
going to
is
see
growing
it
at
over the
a
next
solid
couple
pace.
weeks, next couple
If
months.
you look
So
at forecasters or talk to
it's
companies,
going to be exciting for sure.
They'll say that they think 2025 should be a good year too. So there's no sense that the U.S. economy is basically fine. If you talk to market participants, I mean, business people who are actually out there doing business. So I think,
All right, now you can see the like what it looks like in the reverse,
and
like
as
what
I
it
said,
looks
you
like
can-
when
you
it
can
wants to
see
go
our-
up.
our-
So
our
you're going to
50
see
basis
like a
point
little
move
bit of
as
an
a commitment,
like a little bit of influx up
to make sure that we
but
don't fall behind.
it's
So you're
probably
really
going to
asking
go
about-
up back
your second question, you're
to
asking about July. And
previous
I
day
guess
close.
If you ask,
and then it'll come back down because there's still room on the 3 minute
if we
and
got
15
into
minute.
July,
The guy said
report,
the U.S. economy is fine, so it's
before
going to
the
go
meeting,
down.
would we have cut? We might well have. We didn't make that decision, but we might well have. I think that's not. That doesn't.
It's like watching your kid take his first
really
steps.
answer the question that we ask ourselves, which is let's
Everything's
look,
fine.
At this
Everything's
meeting,
fine.
We're looking back to
Everything's fine.
The July
Everything's
employment
fine.
report, the August employment report, the 2 CPI reports, one of which came, of course, during blackout, and all of the other things that I mentioned. We're looking at all of those things, and we're asking ourselves, what's the policy stance we need to move to? We knew it's clear that we clearly, literally, everyone on the committee agreed that it's time to move. It's just how fast do you go, and what do you think about the path forward? So
Again, I think we're
this
going to see a
decision
little
we made
pop
today
on the
had,
1 minute,
had
but
broad
that's
support
about
on the
it.
committee, and I've discussed the path ahead.
Thank you, Chair Powell. Elizabeth Schulze with ABC News. Mortgage rates have already been dropping in anticipation of this announcement. How much more should borrowers expect those rates to drop over the next year?
Very hard for me to say.
It's all gone.
From our standpoint, I can't really speak to mortgage rates. I will say, that'll depend on how the economy evolves. Our
it wants to.
intention
It wants
though,
it.
is we think that our policy
Come on, boy.
Was appropriately restrictive. We think that it's time to begin the process.
God, I love pattern recognition.
Recalibrating it to a level that's more neutral rather than restrictive. We expect that process to take some time.
When God specced out our
as you
text
can
tree,
see
I'm pretty
in
into
the
it.
projections that we released.
Pretty
today.
into it.
And if things work out according to that forecast, other rates in the economy will come down as well.
See,
However,
like,
the rate at which those
people
things
would never
happen will
like think
really
it's like,
depend on
oh,
how the economy
pattern.
performs. We
Most people
can't
don't even think
see-
about
we can't
pattern
look
recognition.
a year ahead and know what the economy is to be doing.
But when you
every
use
day.
your pattern recognition, you're like,
To
ah.
households who are frustrated that home prices have still stayed so high as rates have been high, what do you say to those households?
Well, what I can say
Fuck 'em.
to the public is that
Fuck those households.
we
Fuck
had
the
the
retail
highest
investor. Fuck
burst
the
of
little
inflation.
man.
Many other countries around the world had a similar burst of inflation. And when that happens, part of the answer is that we raise interest rates in order to cool the economy off, in order to reduce inflationary pressures. It's not something that people experience as pleasant, but
I told you a little
at
pop.
the end, what you get is
Just a small
low
one, though.
inflation restored, price stability restored. And
Okay.
a good definition of price stability is that people in their daily decisions, they're not thinking about inflation anymore. That's where everyone wants to be, is back to what's inflation. We just keep it low, keep it stable. We're restoring that. So what we're going through now really
What a year
restores,
2024 has
it
been,
will
man.
benefit people over a long
What a
period of
year.
time. Price stability benefits everybody over a
An
long period of time.
assassination
just by
attempt on our
virtue of the fact that they
president-elect
don't have to deal with inflation.
twice.
So that's what's been going on. And I think we've made
Fed
real progress.
decisions,
I
market
completely-
collapse.
We don't
I
tell
mean,
people how to think about the
like
economy, of
20.
course,
Buckle
and of
up,
course, people
fellas.
are experiencing high prices. as
We're in
opposed
for
to
a little
high
bit of a
inflation,
roller coaster.
and we understand that's painful.
Hi, Chair Powell. Greg Robb from MarketWatch.com. I was wondering if you could go through, you said just at the beginning that coming into the blackout, there was like an open thought of 25 or 50. The Fed could move either 25 or 50. I would sort of argue that when we had those two last speeches by Governor Waller and New York Fed President John Williams, that they were sort of saying that maybe a gradual approach was going to win the day. I mean, I sort of want to ask
Yeah,
a
but they're not in the
seven-part
room,
question
bro.
about this, but I mean, could you talk, would you have cut rates by 50 basis points if the market had been pricing in like low odds of a 50-point move like they were last Wednesday? After the CPI number came out, it was a really small probability of a 50-point cut. Does that play
still
in
in
your
line.
consideration at all? Just talk a little bit about that. Thank you.
We're always going to try to do what we think is the right thing for the economy at that time.
We're 2 minutes
That's
away
what
from
we'll
a
do.
new 15-minute
And
candle.
that's what we did today.
Thank you, Chair Powell. Simon Rabinovich with The Economist. You've mentioned how closely you're watching the labor market, but you also noted that payroll numbers have been a little bit less reliable lately.
Man, I'm
because
being
of the
told
big
to do
downward
chemistry
revisions.
homework. Meanwhile, I'm
Does
learning
that
how
put
the
your
stock
focus
market works from you.
overwhelmingly on
Damn
the unemployment rate?
right.
And given the SEP projection,
I mean, this is
of
way more
4.4
valuable.
basically being the peak in the cycle, would going above that be the kind of thing that would trigger another 50 basis point cut?
This is what I love about
So
this.
we
like,
will continue to look
this
at
is what I love
that-
about
that
like
broad
learning
array
about
of
money
labor
stuff.
market data,
Is that
including
like
the payroll
you can
numbers. We're
like,
not discarding those.
in my
I mean,
opinion,
we'll certainly look at those.
I just
but
think
we
you look
will
cool
mentally
doing
tend
shit
to
like
adjust
this
them
because like
based on the QCEW.
I'm
adjustment, which you
multitasking. I got a
referred to.
fucking baseball game on,
There
dude.
isn't a bright line.
Like,
know,
you
it
can
will
just be that guy.
The unemployment rate's very important, of course, but there isn't a single statistic or a single bright line.
I love it.
Over which that thing, that
Like
might
you could be
move
kind of a
would
douche
dictate one thing or another. We'll look at
I'm
each meeting,
watching
we'll look
golf.
at
I'm
all the
watching
data on
baseball while I
inflation,
make
economic
money.
activity,
Like, you
and
could
the
be,
labor
but I'm
market,
like,
and we'll
bro,
make decisions about is our
there are
policy
people out
stance
there
where it
working
needs
their
to be
ass off
to foster
either
over
like
the medium
behind a
term
desk,
our mandate
Elden Ring.
goals.
Oh,
So
jeez, I
can't
completely forgot
say
about it.
we have a
Like, there's
bright
people
line
behind a
in
desk. There's
mind.
people fucking breaking their back, and we're sitting here literally watching their paycheck
Thanks, Chair
disappear.
Powell. Matt Egan, CNN. I know that you discussed earlier how the Fed does whatever the right thing is, and nothing else factors in. But in
Yeah,
general,
but
can you
who
talk about whether
dictates
or
what
not you
the right
believe
thing is?
a sitting
you know?
U.S. president should have a say in Fed decisions on interest rates? Because
Boo!
that's something
Boo to
former
that
President
question.
Trump, who
Fuck
obviously
you. Shut
reports
up.
to you,
Stop talking.
has previously suggested. And I know the Fed is designed to be independent, but why? Can you tell the public why you view that so importantly?
Sure. So countries that are democracies around the world, countries that are sort of like the United States, all have what are called independent central banks. And the reason is that people have found over time that insulating the central bank from direct
My brain just
control by
intuitively
political
understands the
authorities
stock market. Damn right.
avoids
It's a valuable skill. It
making
really, I mean,
monetary
it's the
policy
most
in a
valuable
way
skill
that-
you could
that
have.
favors maybe people who are in office as opposed to people who
Because
are
there's
not
people
in
out there
office.
who have no
So
fucking idea what's
that's
going
That's
on.
the idea. Is
You
that,
know,
and
they're
I
not
think
going to
the data
understand
are
why
clear
there's
that
no such
countries
thing
that
as
have
a high yield
independent
interest
central
rate
banks,
anymore.
They get lower
There's no,
inflation.
they're not going to understand
So
why
we're-
high
we're
yield
not-
savings went away.
We do our work.
They're not going to
to
understand it.
to
It's
serve
really
all
important.
Americans. We're not serving any politician, any political figure, any cause, any issue, nothing. It's just maximum employment and price stability on behalf of all
Like I
Americans.
would have sold right
and
when
that's how the other
got
central
to
banks
its
are
peak.
set up too.
Exactly.
It's a good
I
institutional
mean,
arrangement,
I
which is
told you
very
I
good
did
for
like
the
a
public.
majority of my selling
And
yesterday.
I hope it, and I hope and
And that's what
strongly-
people are
strongly
doing.
believe
Yeah,
that
this
it
is
will-
you're
will
watching
continue.
banks in real time liquidate assets.
Kyle Campbell for American Banker. Thanks for taking the questions, Chair Powell. Couple regulatory developments in the past
Like
week. I
every
wanna ask you
person in
about.
that room.
First, last week, Vice Chair
Like
for
that's the
Supervision,
thing, man.
Michael
Is
Barr
that like
outlined his views for the changes
remember?
to Basel III
I
Endgame.
want to say that
Wondering if you
money
are
isn't
aligned
the
with,
goal.
with him on what
The
those changes should
benefits of
be,
money
if
is
those
the goal,
have
like
support
freedom,
on the board,
stability,
the
being
broad
able
way
to have a
you're looking for.
family, being
And
able
you
to
think
buy
other
shit that you
agencies
want to
are also
buy without
fully on
thinking
board
about
with
it.
that
You know, like
approach?
learning how the
And then,
lifeblood of the
yesterday,
world
other
works.
banking
That's
regulators-
what's
You know what? Hold
important.
the second question.
Okay, sure.
Let me we'll give you. the
That's
second
what's
question.
important. I would have bought
the
it
answer
previous
to your
day
question
closed
is
probably
that,
and sold at the recent peak.
Yes,
It really
those-
can
those
be broken down
changes
that
were
easily. All right,
negotiated
now we have a
between the
flag.
agencies with my support and with my involvement.
We have a flag or
with
pennant,
the
whatever you
idea
want
that
to
we
call
were
it,
going
like
to
right on here.
repropose the changes that Vice Chair Barr
And
talked
it's showing
about.
up on the 1 minute.
And then
I
take
think we're
comment
gonna
on them.
see.
So
this
yes,
when it's
that
like
is,
this, and when it's in a
you know,
50-50 range.
That's happening with my
when
support.
there's room down and room up.
That's
I
not a final
want
proposal, you
to
understand.
say
We're putting
down,
that for
but
comment. We're gonna
honestly,
take comment and make appropriate changes.
it's hard to
That
say
we
with
don't
some,
have
when
a-
it's like
we don't
this.
have a calendar date.
I'm
for
watching
that.
the 1
And
minute.
as
If
for
it
the other
breaks
agencies,
past
the idea is that we're all moving
this
together.
peak.
We're not moving separately. So that I don't know exactly where that is.
But we'll see.
The idea is that we will move as a group to put this again out for comment, and then it'll come. The comments will come back 60 days later, and we'll.
Because the other thing
dive
is like
into
this
them,
is
and we'll try
applicable to
bring
like
this to a conclusion sometime
more
in the
than
first
I
half of
mean
next
like
year.
honestly probably down and then up a bunch.
And yesterday there were merger reform finalizations from the other bank
Yeah.
regulators.
Okay. There's
But what does
the
Fed
there's the
do to align
confirmation.
itself on merger?
Yeah, that's
You know, I
confirmation.
would-
So
I
for
would,
something like that, you're gonna wait for
bounce that question
confirmation.
to Vice Chair Barr.
And we're
It's a
just
good
gonna
question,
hold,
but I don't
just
have that
wait,
today.
see if it pulls back a lot. But I think that's confirmation.
Thank you, Chair Powell. Jennifer Schonberger with Yahoo Finance. You said earlier that the decision today reflects with appropriate recalibration.
now it's
of
below
strength in the
VWAP
labor
again?
market that can be maintained in the context of moderate growth.
What time is it?
Even though
Oh, we got a
policy
new
statement
15-minute
says you view the
candle.
risks to inflation and job
That's
growth
important.
as roughly balanced. Given what you've said, though, today, I'm curious, are you more worried about the job market and growth
See what I love
than
about
inflation? Are
this
they
kind
not
of news
roughly balanced?
specifically is they ask
No, I think
real
and we
questions.
think they are now roughly balanced. So if you go back for a long time, the risks were on
They keep
inflation. We had
hammering
a
him on
historically
jobs.
tight labor market.
Hammering him on
Historically tight.
jobs.
There was a severe labor shortage.
Because people want to
So
work. People
very,
need to work.
very hot labor market, and we had inflation
know?
way above target. So, that said to us, concentrate on inflation, and we did for a while, and we kept at
The
that.
thing
But
I
the
noticed in the
stance that we
last
put in
jobs
place
report is that there was a
14 months
lot
ago
of
was
jobs
a stance that was focused on
lost
bringing down
in
inflation.
like
Part of bringing down inflation though, is cooling off the economy
in
and a little bit
resorts,
cooling
like
off the labor
hotel
market.
staff,
You now have a
luxury
cooler labor
goods
market in
was
part because
way
of our
down.
activities. So what that tells you is it's time to change our stance. So we did that. The sense
It's
of the
still
change
in the
in the
range.
stance
We're
is
gonna wait
that
for
we're
that 3 minute to
recalibrating our
pop
policy
and then go
over
from
time
there.
to a stance that will be more neutral.
Because it's still
And
locked
today
in this
was,
little
I
bubble
think
here.
we made a good, strong start on that. I think it was the right decision, and I think it should
Also,
send a
just
signal
wait.
that we,
It's
that we're
also too
committed
soon to call it. Just wait till it gets
coming up
about
with a good outcome here.
here, maybe another
Global
minute,
to a shock
12:23.
now
So in
that
3
could
more
tip it into
minutes.
recession.
I don't think so. I don't. There's as I look.
Oh, there's the big money
let me look
word,
at it this way.
recession.
I don't see anything in the economy right now that suggests that the likelihood of a recession.
Oh,
of a
every
downturn
time he
is
says it.
elevated.
Oh my God! Every time
I
he
don't
says
see
that fucking word.
You see growth at a solid rate. You
So we're
see
still
inflation
touching a
coming down,
line.
you see a
It's
labor
broken
market
the line. There it
that's still
goes.
at very solid levels. It's so I
God,
don't
dude,
really
all
see
he
it
had to
now.
say, you only had to say it. Oh, we're back. Okay, we're back into the negative. We're back in the red.
Okay, that was Fed Chair Powell following the decision to cut interest rates by 50 basis points. Perhaps a bit of a surprise today. Chair Powell saying moments ago, you heard it in the
See, the
news
only people who are
conference,
going to
that
say
there
it's a
is greater
surprise are going to be the
confidence
news
that
people.
inflation is moving closer to their target.
Is it
that
going?
the labor
Not
market has
quite yet.
cooled,
We're
but that the
still.
economy
If
remains
it breaks
strong
past this
overall.
marker.
Important to note too today that there was one dissent from Governor Bowman. That's the first from a position of that stature since 2005. Stocks have been a bit volatile following the decision. We can take a look.
So we're gonna mute that. Yeah, man. Like the only people who are. Oh, was that who hit that home run? Who was that? Give it a minute or two, then it's bye, 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 bye. I'll figure it out later. Yeah, we're still. You can see the pattern forming. You can see it. So they're gonna be chatting. Like, yeah, it's literally gonna be all talk. Probably till market close. And if you notice, like literally, we're right back where we started at the beginning of the morning. Nothing changed. But that's actually probably a good thing. It means it's not pushing up or down. But honestly, there's more resistance up top than there is on the bottom. So to let it go. I would just say, like, if you're in, I mean, most of you, if not all of you, are not in America. I would find a way to start looking into ways to start trying to trade US securities. For one, they're going to be just way more valuable than anything in your country, just without a shadow of a doubt. Um and if you can't, just learn how your market works, which is always going to be really beneficial. I mean, like this, like I'm pretty sure you can apply this to basically any market. Like seriously, I mean, I know Germany has a market, Russia's got a market, there's a whole combined EU market. So I mean, like it's one of the biggest economy. It's either the second or third biggest like combined economy next to the U.S. and Japan. God damn, dude, I need to piss again. I'll be right back. Oh, All right. Oh, good. Nothing happened while I was gone. But yeah, we're just gonna see shit. I think we're just gonna see shit go bumping back and forth. So here's the thing, right? Okay. So let's just play the position of. Wait a minute. Oh. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, did it recede that much? Okay, hold on. I need to zoom in a little more on the 15-minute. Interesting. Okay. We're going to see what that does with the 15-minute. We might have to wait for another 15-minute candle, which is going to happen in 5 minutes. Okay, so like let's play devil's advocate here, right? Let's say like you're a new trader, you're just starting out. So this is where it gets tricky. You're not going to have a lot of money. First and foremost, you're just not going to have a lot of money. I don't have a lot of money to start. So the best thing you could do, at least right off the rip, is you really can't avoid options as much as you want to and try. Like you're just not going to be able to avoid them in this situation. I mean, like this is a skip day all day long. I mean, you could try and make some money off volatility. Like I cannot stress to you enough, from this point down to its lowest, I mean, that's like a multi-$100 move. I mean, like if you bought one contract, and they're probably, and at the time I can almost say for certain that they were around like $200 because they're inflated. Usually a SPY contract usually goes for about, I don't know, like $100 to anywhere from $100 to $60 for a day of expiration, right at the fuck me, like right at the strike. Like, and if you bought a $60 contract, or like since it's inflated, it's going to be 200, like 220, 260. You buy one contract at 260, and you just, I mean, like, like it's easy to talk about, but it's like if you're probably going to sell it around here, like right before it gets to VWAP, you sell it there. That's like easily 40, 50, $60 right there, like genuinely. And then if you held it for some reason all the way past VWAP and sold it down here, that's hundreds of dollars, like 200, 300, 250. It's a massive move because it goes from fucking 565, and at VWAP it's at 564. It jumped a whole dollar. A whole dollar is crazy. And then if you held past that, almost $2. It is, I mean, it's $2 from when you found it. I mean, like, that's insane. It's insane how much money you make. And if you add volume on top of that, like you buy multiple contracts, I mean, like, it just doesn't, I mean, it gets amazing. It gets crazy. But the problem is that when you're on the opposite end, you bought a put down here and it rockets back up, you just, like, you lost all, basically, it's worthless. It's basically worthless. Like, it went from $200 to 40. So like that's the double-edged sword. So I can't stress that enough. You're basically like, unless your facts are in fact facts, just be careful. Like I'm watching the 1 minute. I'm just kind of watching this do its thing. Like I said, I said it earlier. Like just within this little move, we're probably going to see a pullback, and it did. So we're just gonna. If I had to teach you anything, if I had to say anything of my talking was teaching, just look for patterns. Patterns are gonna save you, because the thing is that with the explosion of AI, right, and just machine learning, how do you think they operate? Everything machine based is fucking algorithms and patterns, and you're just a meat machine. Just do what they do, right? And that's pretty much like, just stay on top of it. You'll be on top of it if you know like what patterns look like. The only thing I haven't gotten down in my 10 years of learning, and it has been 10 years. I started learning about this when I was 14, and there was a lot less information about this. So I would like to say there's a bit more information now than there was back then. is you could probably expedite that process, but it will take time. And if you're willing to put in the effort, I mean, if you're willing to uh, just kind of learn, if you're willing to learn, more power to you, you know? Just put in the effort, and it's going to be trial and error. You're going to lose money. Like when I started, I was that kid. I was like, no way I'm going to lose money. I'm going to jump into this. This is so fucking easy. I mean, for a while I was making money, and then it was just like, now we're back to the green. We're back to like, and thank God for it. But it just takes time. It takes a lot of time. And then make a long term before you even fucking start doing day trading. But yeah, I really enjoy like our little stock chats, man. I want to do more. I think should we do more of these? Like I used to do them a lot back in Nam. Like, oh, isn't it so fun? Like it's gonna go down. Pattern recognition, go burr. You see the same thing. We're gonna just draw our line. This is what's so important about drawing lines, man. You just fucking draw your line. Boom. Now you see it. You can't unsee it. I think if I had to say, the market's probably going to close up, but barely. Like it's still like 0.4, 0.3. Like it's not up a lot, but it will. I think it'll close up unless we get a massive, like I mean, massive sell off at the end. Let me check TLT. Let's check the bonds out. See, that's interesting. This is what I find interesting is that like while the market's been fluctuating, bonds have been dropping. So I don't think this will last be like this for very long because I think a lot of people are going to be buying bonds. A lot of people are going to be buying bonds. I think it's just going to be a repeat of 2016 Trump, man. That's what it's going to be. Yeah, there it goes. And I need E. Understandable, son. But yeah, let's not. I'm trying not to base so much of this off of like, oh, this is what it would have done if. This is what it would have done if, right? Like, because everything's 2020, right? Vine Boom never changes price. I've gotten so used to the Vine Boom. Pipe, on the other hand, Pipe will stay up there. It makes it more special. I can feel my caffeine wearing off. And my voice is. See, the thing, it's like when I talk money, I talk money. And I talk about it for too long, and it hurts my throat. Minimize that. Pipe is too expensive, so you get scared of it because it's rarer. Yeah, I do. I do actually jump. There it goes. And it just broke through that line on the 3-minute. Let's see if it holds. Let's watch the 15. Let's see. The 15 is going to be the most important. The 15-minute is going to be the most important chart right now. I know it's kind of hard to see with all the fucking lines going everywhere. Let's remove. All right. Yeah. Okay. Make it the same price in Vine Boom. You'll get used to it in no time. No, I cannot tell you enough how like the pipe is like for some reason just 10 times fucking louder than anything else, and it drives me crazy. So I'm seeing like just kind of like a resistance trend just right here, but we are again almost at previous day close. The almighty craft whisperer, damn straight. Don't you forget it. Right foot down, don't forget it. Hear me out. Bass boost and bit crunch a Minecraft song and put it in the sound redeem. Oh man, I like Minecraft music though. I don't want to hate it. Wow, I am like really feeling my caffeine wearing off right now. I got like a big wave of the sleepies, dude. Holy shit. The other thing I love about this type of like work, especially where I live, I'm on the West Coast. My day's fucking done by noon. My day's done by 1 as far as like market and shit is concerned. Should we just stay on this till market? Whoa! Oh, we're at oh. This is gonna be interesting. We are down. We were for a second. It was down below previous day close. It's just gonna keep bouncing back and forth between that. I'm really. What time is it? 12:36. We got like 9 minutes. 9 minutes. Every 15 minutes is like the most important ticker. Is the most important candle. Man, like. Let me check on. Let me check something really quick. Am I showing anything that I shouldn't be showing? Not really. Put that up there. I'm a base boost Sweden. So here's the options here's our options chain. What was this for? 564. So now everything's leveled out because markets are near close. So these have just evaporated their value. Just completely killed any value they had. You know what? Hold on. I want to. Oh. Well, that makes my life easier. Shit. I don't need to do this right now. I'm trying to close the game. I want to close the game for like a second, and then like I want to keep that chart up. Just so we can kind of jump back and forth with this. Dude, we look at that. That's what I'm talking about. Look how inflated this is. We locked in a price of $62 right here. Right here in the same candle. In the same candle. It lost half of its value, $30. It went from 62 to 30. And it's dropping. Like that's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Like that's why you don't trade volatility, man. You don't trade shit like this. Like I thought about it. I really thought about it right now because I'm like, "Oh man, dude, we're just kind of nailing it on the guesses today." But I'm like, "Dude, no, learn, monkey, learn." Because now, let's see. 39. Let's see if it gets back to 60. 44. Big jump. They're massive jumps. they're massive jumps in price. See, the thing is, it's like you're not gonna make any money really unless it just smashes to this line. We're still in this range. Another pennant pattern. There it is. But this time it's on the other side. But I still think it's going to be down. Actually, no, it might be up. We might go up off of this. Don't ruin Sweden, man. It's such a good song. See, this is those 50-50s, right? Like, we've got the marker of previous day close, right, which is a pretty big resistance point. But we've also smashed through it twice, a few times. Skip to like 20 seconds in. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I didn't like that. We're gonna hold out till market close because we've been here for over an hour at this point, so we might as well see it to the end. We want to keep an eye. I want to keep an eye on that. We're still at 44. But we locked in a theoretical price of 62, so we're gonna keep that in mind. And keep in mind also, a lot of these, like the 164, the 564, is losing value right now because the expiration is coming up. It is losing value right now. It is losing value. 52. I love that you can see it happen, and then it's like, so it popped and went back up. I'm telling you, man. Unless we see a big pop down, well, it did break the pennant. Let's see. Like, we need a big, like, you need a runner to make your money back. It's at 47, 45. And 50 and 63 just went out of the money. Like, shit like that. Like, it's just like, God, it's so terrible. It's funny. No. And then also, if you don't cash out over what the theoretical buy was, it's zero. It's fucking zero. Like, you will lose money. All of it will be gone. 47, we had a big pop down. 52. You're still $10. 60. So it's running right now. So even, okay, look at that. It ran down to the blue line. And you still didn't make your money back. That's crazy. Dude, tomorrow's going to be nuts. Tomorrow's going to be crazy. Never mind, 41 seconds is the worst. Did it go finally? No, it didn't. My headphones don't have enough bass for this. Did it finally stop holding on? No, it's still holding. See, this is gonna be a long process. This is gonna be a long process. We're probably gonna see something in after hours because there still will be trading after hours. So the market's open from 9:30 a.m. Eastern time to 4 o'clock Eastern. Send me these charts in DM. I can send you a website you can go to so you can look at it yourself. Go to tradingview.com. TradingView is like if you can't get these charts, you can get like a pretty decent what? Like a screenshot? Cuz like this is a whole program. This isn't just like someone's talking through me right now. So I can't hear. Oh wait, let's check on it. 90 bro. That just exploded. So you just went from negative $30 to now being up $30. That's crazy. 113. Oh my god, wait. We're at the day's low. It hit day's low and bounced. We still have time. We still have another fucking 15 minutes. What's it called? This is called Thinkorswim. I don't like this is a whole program. So I don't know if you want me to send you screenshots of the charts, but it's called TradingView. Or the Thinkorswim. This one's called Thinkorswim. The one you can use that anybody can use, it's free. It's called TradingView. Go to TradingView, go on their charts, because then you can look at what I'm looking at pretty much. I use both. Like I use this for my actual trading. This is for like actually like moving money around and buying and selling shit. But TradingView is more for just charts. Dude, if it break okay, like here we'll draw another line just for today. If it breaks past this point, and I don't think it will, that's gonna be really interesting. Can you send me the name? Because people keep yelling at my ear. Yeah, I got you. Where is he? Where's my boy? Message. Thank you, Toomer. It wants to. Oh, and it's got room. Oh, it wants to. We have a lot of time. But if it does, here's the other thing: is if it doesn't do it instantly, it loses the chance. It loses its window. And instantly to me is anywhere between like 1 to 3 minutes. But seeing as it's still just kind of fluctuating around, I don't think it's gonna do it. I don't like. It's like it's really close to the bottom. This is the day's low. There's just not a lot of things kind of lining. If we had 15 more minutes, I would say for sure. But since we only have 15 more minutes, I don't know. 13 minutes now. Ooh, that was a big pushback. Actually, you know what? We might have enough time on the 1 minute. It might do it. It is a 50 fucking 50. Like I cannot stress enough. $74. That's crazy. It lost $30 and it was at 113. It lost $40 in value. Trading shit at close is really risky. Don't do it. Oh. Oh. Oh, it's touching it again. Because okay, here's the other. There it goes. There. Oh, if it stays down there, it's just gonna keep going. It's just gonna keep going. It's just gonna keep going. It's like he's 40, 30, 20, 10. Like it just broke past the day's low. It's just gonna keep going. It should just keep. It should, in theory, just keep going. Yeah, you're not getting. If it gets past, goes back up past it. That's crazy. I ruined night call. It got recognizable one. It's just holding that. I think, man, it's going to be really tough to see where it closes. You're ruining Minecraft. So now we're entering the bottom of the RSI, which is oversold. But we still have room on the 3-minute and the 15-minute. I don't think it's gonna run anymore. I think that's it. I think that's it. I think this is where it's gonna close because it's gonna bounce off the bottom. We have 10 minutes left. See, this is where my knowledge starts to break apart. Because when it's in a range like this, where it's at the bottom, right? You have all this momentum down, right? My brain is I always think about rotation, right? I always think about rotation. Because rotation is going to make you the most money. But timing rotation is very difficult. But rotation like this is going to go up to previous day close. I think at most, you might be right, actually. No, you actually might be right. I don't know if it's going to get all the way there. Maybe here. It's holding this range now. So we had a new day low. But even look on the 3-minute. This is why it's important to have multiple different times, because it makes some things more clear. Dude, if we had another 15 minutes, this thing would just be absolutely ripped to pieces. The fact that we're going to close about 0.2, not a full percent, is nuts. That's crazy. I really think people are waiting till the very last minute to get all their sells in. I would say the only thing I don't really like about money streams is that it's hard to clip stuff for money streams. I do like it though. I need to get back on my YouTube Shorts grind. It's hard for me to just we got one thing in front of us, let's just stick to it, 8 minutes. The actual listable one is rave music. Do, 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 do. I think it's just it's gonna have one more momentum push, but if it doesn't, Damn, gold is down 0.35. Yeah, dude. Safe shit's gonna be down for a little bit. I think the safe shit's gonna be back up sooner rather than later. Let's check on the bonds. Yeah, bonds are still down. I don't think bonds will be down for very long though. This is gonna be the only thing that's gonna be making people money. Oh, let's look at the inverse. Actually, wait, no, the inverse isn't even gonna be that much. So there are inverse ETFs, by the way. So you can play this without needing to be a part of an options chain, which is awesome. Amazon's doing the same. Everything's just following the SPY. Yeah, everything's just following the SPY. I think it's just going to hold this range unless it does one more big push, which I'm starting to think is becoming more. As time goes on, it's going to become more and more unlikely. So, how the fuck is Bitcoin up? Because people are going to want to diversify currencies. Bitcoin is like the safety thing. So Watcher just told me there's an international version of Thinkorswim. Even though Toomer, even though you're underage, you should download it as well because you could get a jump start on how it works. And there's actually a practice mode for Thinkorswim, by the way. It's called paper trading. So you can actually test what you learn. There's a 15-minute delay, but like if you don't cheat and like actually practice, then you'll actually, you'll get a really good jump start on just like possible trends that you're learning how to do. We have 3 minutes left. That might actually. Ooh, that might be enough. Send what Watcher found over to me. Watcher, if you're still within earshot. I do not think he is within earshot. I'm texting him. I want to see if this exists. Hold on. Does it still exist? God, ad blocker. If you weren't useful, I'd kill you. Okay, so there's another platform if you can't get Thinkorswim. Oh, is that enough though? 1 minute till close. Is that enough? There's another program called TC 2000. That was the program that I started with. It's a bit more user friendly. I haven't used it in years, so it's like it is a good place to start though. It is a much more user friendly if you're trying to practice. TC 2000, TC and the number 2000. And that's market closed. It wasn't enough. But now markets are closed. Now we get a different. Now we're going to get a different we're going to see something different. So now that markets are closed, you will see a substantial drop off in retail traders. Now you're going to be focusing more on banks. A lot of sales of mutual funds for sure. Because mutual fund sales don't take place until after market close. That's going to be big. Like genuinely, that's going to be massive. Like people, because then you're going to get old people and like banks for sure, like liquidating like holdings. Oh, we are going to have a fucking day, man. There's still I mean, like, it's just 1 minute into market close, so like we still may have time for it to run past it. The fact that we only closed 0.3% is insane. Remember when you brought up that screen where we could see how much people sent and shit? Oh yeah. We can see how much people are buying and selling, where they're buying at through this. Like what price they're at. We can also, yeah, we do that. A lot of volume at 561, 1.9 million shares at 561. At 561.40, so we're already past it. That's why it's holding so much. That's why it's holding so much. And then level 2. Level 2 is the frequency and how fast shares are coming in. So this is what number people are buying at. They're buying at 561.3, and people are trying to short at 561.28. So that's the range. 28 to 30. And then you're going to see more stuff down here, which are like further apart. Nuts, dude. Pull the chart back up. Oh man, dude. We should maybe tomorrow we'll do a day of maybe tomorrow we'll do a day of like kind of walking through uh uh just kind of basic setup for Thinkorswim. I think that would be good because then we could also start stream early and then I could be done early. Not that I don't like hanging out with you fellas, but if I start stream that early. Dude, I need to piss again. Holy shit. pissing like a fucking racehorse, dude. But yeah, just use those programs to practice your patterns. Just use that to practice your patterns. Use that to just kind of just learn. And right now is like the best time to learn because this is like an event that you're probably not going to see for another 4 to 5 years, you know? Like it's going to be big. And what's great is that like for you guys outside of the US, like this is fantastic. Like I mean like getting a jump start on your future is just I mean like you won't have to work after you're 65. Like that's big. Like not like being able to retire. Hell, if you can retire sooner than that, always a good thing. First of all, always a good thing. The sooner the better. The sooner you can stop working, which is what I want for all my fellas. Time to eat. Yes, go eat. Go eat. Markets are closed. I'm going to move this back over. Nya. Move this back over. I've got it downloaded and set up. All right, for sure. I need to go. From what I remember, TC2000 was very user friendly, and I would also just do a basic Google search, Tumor. Just Google if you can trade U.S. markets, because if you can trade U.S. stuff, you won't even need to trade your own shit. If you can just figure out how the SPY works, if you figure out how to like get the most out of American like money, do it. I think I can, but with some fees. There's gonna be fees everywhere. That's the thing, is that like there's gonna be fees everywhere. Everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. But you know, it comes with the territory. Do you know exactly like what the fees would be? Like, is there like explicitly, because I'm paying for US with EU and shiz and taxes and shit. Okay. But I think it does the conversion for you if you're buying in dollars. There's definitely a way to like for your bank to just do that for you. I don't know. There's going to be some extra steps for sure. Like that's the one downside, is there's 100% going to be just extra steps that annoyingly you're going to have to jump through, but at the end of the day, I think it's going to be totally worth it. I mean, I'm certain it's going to be completely worth it. It's like it's your future, dude. It's going to be everything. Like you do this and you're fucking golden, man. I know more about the U.S. economy than my own economy, and that's probably for the best, because the only economy that really matters, because whatever happens in America happens to everybody else. So we're gonna see. But the thing about the rest of the world is that they're usually ahead of America as far as like what's gonna happen, because American traders like to hold on. They like to just really latch on to the last dollar they can get. I want to start making. Okay, so like I have a channel that I made. I haven't uploaded anything to it yet, but I do have a YouTube channel for money stuff, and I haven't uploaded anything on it, and I just don't really know how I want to go about doing it. I got that mindset of I've made some profits, all good. So, okay, this is something that I'm currently learning how to do. Go off of percentages. Seriously, it's just going to make your life so much easier. Like just like don't focus on the dollar amount. It's like you make 15 bucks, 5 bucks, $3, but if that percentage is 10% or higher, my rule for basically anything is that like if I'm up 10%, I'm good. I'm good. 10% is like the key figure. So I pretty much want to buy low, sell high. Exactly. And the way you learn how to buy low and sell high is just learning just tuning your pattern recognition. And I'm sure most of you can do that because I think you'd all agree that, most of you are autistic. It's not a diss, it's true. Is that that's one skill that's probably better for a lot of you is just recognizing patterns, and you can use that to your advantage. And when you use, and I mean, like, dude, like, I shouldn't have to tell you how valuable that would be. Like, it's gonna be nuts. Like, you dial in and tune your pattern recognition, and like build a system that works for you, because maybe not every system works, not everything I do might work for you. You might find something along the way that like you like. I think the big thing is a lot of this information is behind paywalls, man, and that shit bugs the fuck out of me. And I've always been a big advocate of like, keep this kind of information free, because it's really important. Like, how are people supposed to learn if there's a paywall? Like, you're just completely like alienating like a big portion of people who want to learn this shit and they can't. And so, like, if I ever commit to that YouTube channel, which I would really like to, I really, really, really should, because like, there is a very big lack of free good information. There's only one guy I think of. There's one YouTuber I think of that offers this like kind of information for free. His name is a Trading Fraternity. He's on Twitch and YouTube. He streams every weekday. Every weekday you can find him. He's on Twitch. If you go to the stocks and bonds category of Twitch, he's probably the number one. Maybe not, actually. But like, anyway, like, that's where you can find him. You can find him on Twitch and YouTube. And he's probably got all of his links and shit in there. But yeah, this is great. I mean, like, the more the merrier. Like, jump on this boat as soon as you can. And again, like, the sooner you start, the better. Thinkorswim definitely looks better because its colors are distinguished from downs and ups. Yeah. Thinkorswim is going to be the one. TC2000, again, like, when I use it, it was just black. There's someone behind me. How come I never get that? How come this guy gets that, but I don't? I think you can change it in the settings. Like, you definitely can make it more distinguished. Hey, it ain't much different now. Fair enough. Oh, looks like we're just gonna be using the MiG just because of how fast it is. It's just gonna make life so much easier. But yeah, it's just learning. Learning. But this time learning is fun because you can make money. Check DMs, it'll probably give you a nostalgia. Let's see it. Yeah. Yeah, you can definitely change it. You can definitely change the colors. It looks exactly the same. Like, it looks exactly the same as I remember it, apart from, like, your chart just being green, which I know you, for a fact, you can change. Like, it looks exactly the same, which is awesome. I don't even want to run bombs. I fucking hate bombs, dude. I want to get out there and fucking kill people. Eep time for sure. Go eat. Go eat, brother. I wish I had flares. That's crazy how much, like, the wing stopped shaking just from that little... Boop. Oh, yeah, now we're cooking. Fuck bombing. Bombing's gay. I want to be able to, like, clown on some fools, bro. This thing can't turn. I'm gonna have to put Minecraft music over that. What song is this? C418, beginning 2. I didn't even get to do anything. I didn't even do anything. I didn't even have bombs. He literally blew me up for no reason. The fuck, man? I just wanted to shoot somebody in the game. In the fucking game I'm playing. Oh god, they're playing Deadlock. I don't want to play Deadlock. I was gonna hop in with the fellas, but I don't want to play Deadlock. I love how I was in a very even-tiered game, and then that dickhead blew me up. Now I got up-tiered. Yay. Lab by other mechanization. Oh, dude, if I'm like cooking, I can't even pull out my combat flaps. That's fucking crazy. Okay, so my city and the town right next to me have the exact same postal code. Oh. I got blown up by a teammate at the beginning of the match last game, and now I'm like a little sad. So it's constantly telling me invalid postal code. There's going to be a few of those hiccups. You're just, trust me, man, it's just the beginning. But once it's all set up, it'll be fabulous. You'll be so happy you went through the trial and errors. The only way to avoid it is to put a space in between one of the numbers. Interesting. Should I just do that then? Maybe. Or do you have a P.O. box or something? Oh, wow. I got big up tiered. No. I hate that I get up tiered into fucking. No idea what that even is. Oh, a P.O. box is it's private. It's a post office box. It's like it's a mailbox you just have at another location. No, I don't have that. That is just an option, but I think you can get around it. See, it's like for grind purposes, I know that bombing is just going to be better, but I really hate bombing. I hate it so much. Even if I did, it would be in the same city. Wouldn't solve the issue. Fair. I'm sure if you Google it, there's probably some solution that some psychos found. Or you can always call them. That's another thing. Is that customer service for a lot of this stuff is usually pretty good. Like genuinely. I'm gonna just cheese it with the space. Because like the only mail they're really gonna ask or give you or send you is gonna be is just like updates on your account policies and shit. I am not going to make an international call to a U.S. number. That also is, you know what? That's a good point. I didn't think about that. Did not think about that. Should we do some Italy? Because Italy, at least we can just kind of run through the whole thing. I just wish this MiG-23 had flares, man. I just wish it had fucking flares. I wish it had fucking flares. Why don't you have flares? It would be overpowered. You get all documents digitally anyway. Yeah, they're never gonna send you mail. I've gotten mail maybe twice ever from Thinkorswim. It's never anything major. Mm. Do I have all the modifications for the J-Bow? I do. Ugh. We're just kind of in. We're still in no man's land. We're still in fucking no man's land with this shit. We're gonna get out of it once we get to this BR. I think it's crazy that like you can get the MiG-19, it gets all the way, but it gets to 9.3. You still don't get any fucking flares. Oh man. Just get me in there, coach. Just get me in there. Man, I have like I like pissed out all the caffeine that was in my system. Like I am like groggy. Oh wait, there's no one behind me. I don't even have to lower my altitude. I'm gonna get missiled, I feel it. I will say it is nice being able to climb. There's some fucking puny ass bombs, bro. No air brake. God, what is with these people? Why do they all hate air brakes? Give me my air brake. Hey man, just chill. We're all here for the same thing, buddy. We're all here for the same thing. And I'm about to get a buzzkill. Why do I even bother? Neither of us got the kill. Oh no, I'm sorry, he killed me. But I don't get the kill, because I only crit him. Let's not do this. Let's fly something a bit like with something that can actually like, you know, do something. Oh god. Germany's planes are so garbage. They're so bad. They're so bad. Oh, they're more powerful engine. It's like suck a cock, dude. Like well, there's tornadoes, so we don't get to run bombs. No bombs for me. No bombs for me. No thank you. And we turn the radar off because it doesn't matter. I don't understand how you classify this thing as an 11-3. I really don't. Like, it's good for what it is, but, like, it's still pretty fucking slow. Like, at least it maneuvers well. You gotta take what you can get. I don't know how much of that. I'm a little disappointed with myself for like the less stream or like, but like, man, my brain is fried. I don't know what it is. I did wake up really early today. I forgot that it's not limited speed-wise by the engine. It's limited because the wings want to rip off. I was gonna say something, but I'm like, I don't think I'm in the right place to say that, because knowing my luck, it'll happen. Damn, dude, this thing scrubs a lot of speed. Oh, one of the new F-111s. Alright, as long as it hits him and not me. I was gonna say, okay, so I think I'm safe now. I was gonna say, like, man, it's like, I'm like, I think I'm safe in the canyon from Fokkers. And thankfully I was. We love to see it. We love to see it. We love to see it. A10C, that thing gets fucking AIM 9Ms. I'll take it. 2 good fucking missile kills with a booster. Can't ask for much more than that. Once again, the failings of this plane are purely because I only have 2 missiles. But at least I have flares! I love having flares! Three. We love it. We love it. We love it. You know, there is a benefit to having a slower rate of fire. I got to line my shots up a bit better. That was good. That was good. I actually do like this thing for what it is. And you don't fucking go for bombing targets because that's what they want you to do. You're not fast enough. All right. Now we get some of the cooler shit, I guess you could call it. Fucking hate the IL-28. I do really want. I want a MiG-29. Oh, let's do. Should we do the most expensive one first? SC-23. Oh, these two are only 46,000. Meeny, meeny, mo. Wait, what do you get at the end? The AV-8B Plus, Tornado, F-16. I'm gonna get them all anyway. It doesn't really matter. At least the missiles on this thing are good. I actually really like the missiles on this thing, especially if you catch someone sleeping. Hold on, something. No bombs. Love it. Turn the radar off. Oh, dude, holy down tier. It's back. I'm really enjoying the stream today. I'm really enjoying the, whatchamacallit, fucking. That was nice to just like run through money shit. I love that stuff, man. I really do. I love sharing. I really love sharing it. Because everyone, and I mean fucking everyone, should know like the importance of proper money management and just diversifying in portfolios, long terms, you name it. There's no bad thing that comes from it, which is just even better. Why do I feel like this music is really fitting for this plane? I don't know if it's 11.3 good, but it definitely should be higher than an A10 for sure. Like this thing, I mean, like you get substantially less ammo, still get a 30 mil, you get 2 goated missiles. In my opinion, it should be a 11. It should be an 11. Hard to say, actually. It really is hard to say. I want to say 11, but it's like if 11.1 existed, this is what it would be. Because I don't feel like 11, because like getting up tiered into F-14s can be pretty bad. Oh my god, it fucking... I was trying to turn the seeker head off. I'm dead. Dude, that fucked me. It's like vertical assisted targeting, and like, why does that take priority? That's so annoying, dude. Like, why did that take priority? I didn't even realize it was still holding it. What was it? Assisted guidance? Aim weapons, pitch axis. So annoying, dude. Oh, wait. Yeah, we're going to try the sigils this time because Nate says they're good. Oh, that was a good one. Pop the fuck out of my wrist. Am I the only F-14? No way. Dude. Oh, no, there's another one back there. Okay, I thought we were just, like, that lucky. Man, the sigils are just big bitches. They are chonky. There's 3 F-14s. That's fucked up. These sigils feel heavier on the plane. Like, they feel way heavier, like, actually on the frame. Or have gone active. Hate to see it. You really do. want to try these sigils. Whoa, those things are fast. Holy shit, those things are fast. Wow, I got like nothing for that. I should have finished that quest a long time ago. Because you do not have permission to perform special tasks. A one-time permit is issued. What? Oh, I have to finish the medium task first. Okay. Mm. Man, I'm getting hungry. How much more of this do I have? 11? Oh, God. Man, I don't even know what I'm feeling right now. I haven't flown French in a minute. I just don't think it's. They just don't have a lot of stuff that I'm really into. Like, there's only one Mirage that gets like full set of magics, you know? I didn't realize how close we were to this thing. I don't want to do that. Give me like. Here are the scout. Fuck off, man. There is no good way to grind through Germany. I'm certain of it. There is just no good way to grind through Germany. Even if you buy a fucking premium plane, it's all awful. All of it is awful. Fuck me, man. Like, how the hell is there an A10 in this game? Oh god, he's Running missiles. Yeah, I knew that was happening. I think this is a good map to climb on. We gotta go left. There's no way. If those bases were in the mountains, absolutely. Alright, let's get some real fucking speed now. Nice. Don't fuck with me, dude. Don't fuck with this thing. Oh, just like when you do get a gun kill, it is so satisfying in this fucking thing. It's just like they test your gangster, man. They test your fucking gangster, and you're just like, no, not doing this. How much fuel do I have? Plenty. God, it's just, it feels so good. I will also do the sound. The sound this thing makes is awesome. It's so beefy. need one. You only need one to hit, son. Oh, he gone. Oh my god, the game's already over. I blinked into it. I fucking missed it. Hell yeah, dude. A's beating Cubs. Hey, how are you? I'm good. How was your little outing? It was good. I only played one game though because everyone was in the tournament. That's fine. I mean, I think the main objective is to go for the experience first, you know? I'm sure that's really what you were going there for, you know? Build up the feeling of just doing it, which I think is more important anyway. I also spent $80 today. Oh boy. I'm assuming you spent on cards. Did you meet anybody, or did you just kind of go the just exist and just kind of feel it out? I'm crazy. I'm insane, bro. I'm insane. I'm fucking bananas. The one dead, fucking clowned on, bro. Game mat, card sleeves, entry fee, three structure decks, and more. Hell yeah, man. That's what it's all about. It's all about having a good time. Rockies, Diamondback. That was a really good game. Go for that. And then go for bombs. Oh, that was so good. I was around buying stuff and making my deck, but also talked to one or two people there before the shop. Too, I talked to the people there working. Cool. Yeah, dude, that's what it's all about. Socializing. You have succeeded in your objective. Congratulations. Yeah, man, putting yourself in those positions is really good. And finding people that you kind of vibe with is gonna, I don't know what your friend group looks like outside of the internet, but finding those people that you can vibe with and just hang out and exist is always a good thing. Haven't vibed yet. All right, well you'll get there. More practice. Is it a daily, or is it a daily thing, a weekly thing, a monthly thing? How does it work? Is it scheduled? They got a bunch of stuff daily, but this specific thing only on a Wednesday. Cool. No, that's better. That honestly, I think that's kind of better because then you can just go every Wednesday I will go do this thing. Yeah, going at like those weekly events are probably like that's probably where like all the good stuff is too. Like that's where you're probably gonna meet like you're gonna meet better people or just like everyone kind of a weekly group thing. I should know. Ooh, I thought I just pulled my landing gear up while still on the runway. Yeah, just having like that week. Like I'm trying to get back to my weekly thing. Like one of one thing my friends and I do. We also just hang out on Wednesday night, but I'm not close to them like physically. Like it's like a hour and a half, 2 hour drive for me. So I'm like slowly working towards getting back to like my home neighborhood, my home city and shit. So I get it. I feel that. Rat Shriner. Is there a more visible target? Are those F-104C? I don't know. Magic Yu-Gi-Oh! Board Game Wednesdays, D&D Thursday, Magic Friday, TCG Pokemon Saturday, Magic and Sunday. Something because they're closed the other 2 days. Cool. Yeah, man, it's all about just like going to like a weekly thing or just having the option. Like God, dude, just even having the option is so valuable. I think we're gonna have a better angle at nope, we're going for man, do I hope that connects. Yes, it did. It was fine for me. But it was also diff, I think, because, you know, first time and they had a tourney. Yeah, no. You can never expect one of these things to go perfectly the first time around. And that is more than okay. You're going there just to go. Like it's it's so much better to just have like no expectations. Cuz when you have no expectations for something like this, like you'll be pretty much surprised with every outcome, either bad or good. And then you just base it off of what you're feeling. How did I miss? How did I miss? How did I miss? I hate this map when it's like this. Bought a Fire King structure deck ×3. That's awesome. Yeah, man. And a place where you can just like fall into something and like indulge the hobby is always going to be better. Dude, I'm so hungry. What time is it? We've been going for like 3.5 hours. I think I'm gonna call it for today. I'm starving. I haven't eaten today, and I have been up since 5 a.m. and would like to just kind of chill. But I'm super happy that the experience. I'm happy for you that your experience went well. Have a nice day. You too, gamer. I will probably be back tomorrow. All right. Thanks for stopping by. Love you. Kisses. Bye bye.